I have a lot to talk about.
And travel in a dumpster.
Rolling.
Oh,
Hey, the Artie Lang Quitter podcast is on. So much to talk about.
Anything.
I want to know the difference by the end of the day between ISIL and ISIS.
good thing Gino's here.
Yeah.
I actually
He's
learned
gonna
it.
field that one.
Well, the president says, I know the last S in ISIS, it's an acronym, of course, I guess, it's Syria. And I guess the president refuses to say ISIS. He says ISIL. And I guess the O is Libya. Am I right about that, Dan? And ISIL, it's Libya? Mr. Know-it-all over here.
Yes, it's Libya.
It's Libya, right? And so he doesn't care about insulting Libya because there really is no Libya anymore, right? Okay. And I guess he doesn't want to insult Syria.
Liberia was also acceptable.
I don't know. There's some crazy shit going on. I mean, every politician, whether it's Trump yelling or Obama looking scared to death, no one knows what the fuck to do. There's a picture of those two people that they found, another picture of them coming into the country at the airport in San Bernardino, California. And, you do see Muslim people on the street in New York or at the airport. And it's true, the Muslim people who are, real, true, nice Muslims they come off as the most peaceful people on earth. It's like the direct opposite. I mean, they're constantly sort of praying and being gentle. They're like gentle, and they're polite. But I gotta say, those Muslims look exactly like these other two people. And so, what the fuck do you do? It's really a huge problem. And this woman apparently was really, goddamn, evil.
The guy was fine until he got married. I think that was sweet guy, sports, gets married, all of a sudden he's in ISIS.
The worst that can happen in America, we get yelled at by our friends, goofed on if we go to a pottery class. This guy's getting radicalized.
We never jihad anymore.
My wife, oh yeah, you pussy. What are you going to a pottery class? Yeah, my wife has got me in ISIS. You puss, you're ISIS whipped. I tell you. The good thing about some of the chicks I would date if I was in show business, they could never fit in a suicide bed. Neither could I. What do you do, man? There's nothing to do. They're like a deer in headlights. The contrast, I will say, between Jeb Bush started taping. He must have $4 billion behind him. Talk about no charisma. He talks like a robot. George W. Bush looks like his brother looks like Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam compared to Jeb Bush. He is just like a robot. And he goes, we have only one choice with ISIS. We can't control it. We have to defeat it. Like he says every syllable into it. We have to defeat it. And you cut to Trump and just go, we'll bomb the shit out.
Yeah. Kill their families. I like
just yelling, I'll bomb the fucking shit out of them. And Trump is a classic New Yorker.
Yeah.
He's a New Yorker, a brass fucking yelling, and that's what this country wants. We have to defeat it. I'll fucking bomb him.
You don't feel like it, every time Jeb Bush talks, I feel and I don't pretend to know, my intelligence is insulted. He's like, he just goes up there and says, I'm a Bush. I'll say some political shit and you'll vote for me. That's how I feel. I'm not saying, it annoys me.
I love that one of his positive things that he brings up all the time with the debates is he ran Florida. He ran Florida.
It's a fine state. Fine.
The place where people eat people's faces on the side of the road. You ran that state for 8 years. That's your fucking selling point?
Yeah.
We did it in Florida. What did you do? It's terrible over there.
Did you see the picture of him over the weekend with a suit jacket?
Jeb Bush?
Yeah.
No.
Here. He's got John on the inside of his jacket.
In case he forgets who
That's
he is.
the other thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Someone came up with, they hired,
He's got
I
his
think they
name
hired
and his
joke writers for him. That one debate, he so clearly tried to crowbar in jokes. That one joke, he goes, how about that for high energy Trump? Oh, God. Hillary Clinton, she takes the mic out of the stand. She's trying to do stand-up now. It looks like she's got those.
Oh, she got in trouble a little while ago. Probably like 5-6 years ago. She tried to be funny. I knew there had to be a joke writer, but the joke was she goes, at a time like this, I think what Mahatma Gandhi said, and by that I mean the guy down the road at the gas station.
It's really?
It's on YouTube. It's fantastic.
Oh, well, do it.
Oh my God.
First of all, Trump is doing Jewish jokes. He did that thing at they were speaking to a Jewish organization. He goes, "Well, this room will renegotiate forever. I know that." And they're laughing. I mean, he's doing stereotypical. What politician gets away with that?
Doing
Nobody
Gino's act.
Son of a bitch.
You cunt.
When they do that, you know they're
You
stealing.
cunt. No, I mean, honestly, it's very. We're living in crazy times. I mean, Kanye West will probably run for president. And why not in 4 years? He's got to be looking at this going, why wouldn't I run?
God.
Because he said he was going to run. With blue contact lenses, our president.
Just had a son.
Did he? Oh, well, good.
Yeah.
No, they're going to,
picked the
right?
name.
Wait a minute.
They didn't have the
They had
son.
it. They had it.
Oh, they did have
the
it.
first kid was a girl.
Yes. Right.
North is a girl.
North is a girl.
Oh, and did they have it?
They had it.
Saint.
Oh
Saint.
my God.
Oh, my God. Not too much pressure. Your name is Saint, honey. Oh, a guy? Oh, what asshole.
Do you think that kid's gonna be gay?
Oh, they are going to be.
just quick
Oh,
question.
they're going to be. First of all,
His dad is.
Again, Ryan Seacrest is starting that androgynous thing that is labeled. That's what a man is nowadays. Yeah, 30 years from now, the world is just going to be guys just do everything. I'm a chick. I'm a guy. I fuck. I like dick. I like pussy. I like whatever. Yeah. Everybody's fine. You can do anything you want. You know, hey, we're all cool with it. We're cool with that. What do you want to do? Want to suck my ass? Want to suck my cock? My pussy? I got a cock and a pussy. I got a cock and a pussy. I got everything. We're all fine. Everything's fine. I'm black. I'm white. I'm Jewish. I'm everything. Don't insult me. I'm everything. I'm everything you could possibly be.
Except talented in Kanye's case.
No, I've been telling you what Kanye West in the world of rap. Clearly, he's doing something right. Niggas in Paris.
You got to be somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, I don't know how to react to that. Again, he put the A at the end of nigga, so it's very. I don't think. I think why not have Kanye West? Kanye West has to look at this. Other people might run. Ashton Kutcher, that clip we play of him calling himself the difference, and he sort of dabbles in politics. You're going to see people like him will start running. Why not? Why the fuck? Why wouldn't they?
Well, they always said politics was just showbiz for ugly people.
Well,
so
well, Ronald Reagan proved it. He did. I mean, he was a master communicator. That guy. He just read off the cards. Go ahead and make my day. The country fucking ate that up.
Sonny Bono.
Sonny Bono.
Sonny Bono, senator.
And
Sonny Bono.
Governor.
The guy from the Love Boat.
Gavin
You're
Gopher
probably too
Grandy.
young
Fred
for that.
Grandy.
Yeah, Fred Grandy. Gopher from the Love Boat. Oh, jeez.
Al Franken.
Alf, well, he was basically a politician as a comic. He could tell he was going to do something. That's a funny motherfucker. I had a couple of conversations with him at charity softball games and through Norm, and an insane ego, like you'd think, but really funny guy. He's a senator from Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And still is, and it's been for a while, right?
Yes.
I know. He had those funny.
I tell you, that Lauren Michaels.
Yeah, well, Lorne Michaels has. I mean, listen,
Political factory.
biggest influence on pop culture, maybe ever, is Lorne Michaels. If you think about it,
Wow.
what he created, and political and movies and unbelievable. What the money he must have. Pump his ass too. I had an unbelievably surreal meeting with that guy. People probably know it. The two people that hear me repeat stories because they've been listening. I'm sorry you listened to everything I did since fucking 1998. There's some people that might want to hear that haven't heard the stories yet on Twitter. Heard that one again. Oh, turn it off, you fuckface. This podcast. There's the premise of the podcast. It's as if we're friends. You know Artie.
No, that's
so
not.
we might be at dinner, and they ask Artie to repeat the story you've heard.
I
So
figured-
guess what you do at dinner? You politely get the fuck up, or you fake laugh, or you go, "This is great." When it gets to this part,
You know how many cops have heard you repeat a story? They're not complaining.
of course.
Not my.
I tell them just YouTube. I tell you that some cops, since I've been on Howard, they're the coolest. I love them. I've literally, this has happened more than several times in the last 10 years. What the fuck did you think you were doing, Artie? If it's a chick cop, though, I'm done. Done. Those bitches. Everything's fucking.
Well, I'm sure that'll help.
The belt is done just right. Like
They're aggressive.
well, no, I know because they got to be all by the book. All by the book. I got nothing against. Do what you got to do, but don't get mad at me. I'm not the fucking jock who blew you off. All right? Yeah, you know. I'm not the asshole girl in high school who didn't invite you to her bedazzle party. You fucking bitch.
Did they have
Big deal. Big deal. I parked on the sidewalk for a few hours.
What do you think goes on at a bedazzle party?
Oh, well. Don't fucking get me started. No, it's honestly, I'm not the guy. Big deal. So I was making a martini in 6th Avenue. I was making a K-turn with my knee. Don't fucking give me shit. The guys are much looser. When I see someone going by the book in something, I know I'm going to be trouble with them. When someone, you're going to love doing the talk show. It's the host are myself and 3 other women of color. When they say women of color, they're not going to like me. Women of color. Just say it's 3 other women.
3 other nice women.
Yeah, 3 other broads.
Yeah.
Women of color. What does that mean? What, am I supposed to get out my color jokes or to not get out my color jokes?
It never goes well when it's 3 female hosts. Never.
Oh, no,
We like to have fun here.
Yeah, right. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
We have very different.
We love comedy.
You
Okay.
like to kill fun here.
Get ready. Get ready. You like comedy? Okay. Get ready. That's what Joe Buck told me, too. Joe Buck, he said it to me. He goes, let me have it. Let me have it, man. Really? And the guys who ended up banning me from HBO said, let him have it. Okay. I let him have it. Guess we had different things in mind. I guess you didn't have the word cocksucker in your first joke.
Cocksucker.com.
Yeah, well, listen. I tell you, the political correctness, I did, the HBO thing I did with Judd Apatow, which was such a very great thing, and he's a good man, and I appreciate the opportunity there. But HBO is a very, they do quality shit, but they are the epitome of PC, and they let us improv a lot of stuff, and I ended one of the improv little bits with the word cocksucker. I called Pete a cocksucker, and the key grip laughed. People at what's the word for them? Men, they laughed. That's what we used to call them. And Apatow came over to me. She said, "Great job, but you're doing it again. Say like scumbag or something." He goes, yeah. I said, "Cocksucker's on the list now." He goes, "Yeah."
Cocksucker?
No, it's
offensive to cocksuckers?
To gay people. Well, let me tell you.
Why?
You're laughing. The premise is this is the premise. You're saying it in a derogatory way, and that means if you're a cocksucker, you're an asshole. It's negative. So I can't, in a negative way, say cocksucker because they suck cock. And, for years we used cocksucker and broads never got out of problem with it.
No.
And it was them that we assumed that, I had to change it.
That's weird.
Wow, cocksuckers on the, Chris Rock said with the N-word. He goes, my beloved nigga. Yo, you're not taking nigga from me. Come on. No, they're not taking nigga from you. You're fine. They're taking it from me.
Scumbag doesn't work as well as cocksucker.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Of course not. Cocksucker's a funny word.
It's a good word. It's got the hard C.
I said maybe we could still use it if we just make it a positive thing, like not cocksucker. You are a real cocksucker.
This cocksucker here.
You suck a cock like nobody.
All the negative words, we just make them positive, and we can still use them. This fucking nigger. You're just the best nigger, man.
On a scale of 1
You
to
are
10.
the best cocksucker. That's cocksucker. I love
1
him.
being Delonte West.
This is I cook the cocksuckers. Oh, I love him. You spick. He's such a wop, this kid. Yeah, well, that is something I could probably just do on this podcast. There's anger that comes up, and then I go, well, what am I going to do? Shooting a pilot for HBO. Should really.
But it's
count
weird.
down.
It's HBO.
but your band
No, but they are
edgy. They're supposed to be edgy.
they are they're edgy yet politically correct. They do great work. They're sports documentaries, right, Gino? Have you watched? I mean,
Yes.
is there anyone better at those? They are unreal. But yeah, that Sex in the City crowd, the drama's there.
There was some cocksucking and Sex in the City.
Oh God, yeah.
There was.
It's just like when the gay guys write it, then we're okay. Yeah. They use it right, I guess. So that's all they talk about is sucking cock. Gay guys. As a matter of fact, it's too much. Like, dude, you're offending me. Calm down.
Now you're just gloating.
Yeah.
You're just rubbing
Exactly.
it in. You are a cocksucker with the way you're talking about all the cock you
Maybe.
suck. Stop being a cocksucker about this cock sucking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Stop being
I don't know.
such a pussy licker.
Right. Exactly. You pussy. We'll make them positive.
I just hate people that need to be offended.
Well, that's what they are. Exactly. Because they look at me and I represent every, I'm every asshole that's ever been in their life, probably. You know what I mean? These gay guys probably look at me and they go, "This is everything we tried to get away from in life."
If you could take all of our problems and put them in one person,
Yeah.
Yes.
meet my
me.
friend Artie
Yes.
Lang.
Every dysfunctional drunk uncle.
Right.
This
Well,
is
and they
Judgmental,
and they
yeah.
project it. They project it onto me.
angry coach.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Just every.
Yeah. Well, first of all,
Climb the rope. No.
First of all, the
You
bookie,
went every-
the bookies, that you find now. I deal with bookies who are politically correct. How does that happen?
Stop it.
Listen, we're all.
I can hook you up with my guy.
I again, they look at me probably these executives and they go, "We're not letting him get away with this. He's not part of this." But who says it better? I say it better.
Do you ever think of the advantages of becoming gay?
Yeah, well, now
Sure.
there are in the show business.
Absolutely.
What the fuck? If somebody's afraid to come out and show, I'm like, fucking come on,
Are you
man.
nuts?
We thought about for a while maybe just coming up and touring colleges as a gay act.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So you could say everything.
Just long enough to get a show on Bravo in syndication. Wouldn't that be great? Fooled you. I got 200 mil. You thought I was a gay guy. I've been fucking chicks the whole time.
Did he just come out as straight?
Guess who's not gay? Moi. You got a problem with that? Come to my fucking house on Star Island. Piece of shit. Huh, did you read Variety? Is Artie Lang not gay? That bastard! I couldn't pull that off. They'd
Lot
know
of-
in-
lot of work.
They'd know in a heartbeat.
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
Flaming heterosexual.
John Ritter in Three's Company. We were talking about that the other night at the cellar at the table. We were talking. It's so talking about politically incorrect. Norman Fell, the landlord, is the only guy who
Mr.
knows.
Furley.
Yeah, John Ritter. Well, no, Mr. Furley is Don Knotts.
Right.
The first guy's Norman Fell. He's a character
right,
actor.
yeah, yeah.
The Ropers.
Right, the Ropers, and he does gay jokes about John Ritter. But he kills, but he doesn't say a word. He does the gay like he does a Brand. The guy kills on national TV, just going so homophobic. I remember being at the dinner table, my father just guffawing. He's calling him a fag. Just
That's a great man right
oh
there.
yeah.
I'm a queer.
Oh God, the good old days. John Ritter, he pretended, for you young people, John Ritter in Three's Company, pretended to be homosexual to get, because it's the only way the Ropers would let him live with two broads, as if they knew he didn't want to sleep with them. A ridiculous premise. Doesn't make any sense. In San Diego.
And Larry
Larry was the swinging
Larry,
neighbor.
Larry
Big time,
Dallas.
yeah,
Yep.
big time.
Larry was the neighbor,
He was always talking about a date with Greedy Gretchen, coming from the Regal Beagle.
The Regal Beagle was the name of the bar.
I used to love that
Beagle.
show. I have a date with Gretchen. Greedy Gretchen. Come on, that's a great
They all
show.
have names like Oscar Madison. Fast Rhoda Zimmerman?
What?
Yeah, they all have those.
That's
Well, there's sisters. One clearly fucks you and one doesn't.
Fast Rhoda Zimmerman. I love it.
Yeah, Fast Rhoda Zimmerman.
That's right.
So again, we live in very trying times for a con.
You can never say that on TV now. Fast in association
No,
with a woman.
exactly.
Oh, that's slut shaming.
What does that
No.
mean?
No.
It means that she gobbles jizz down fast.
And well.
Can we not go with that? All right. We'll mark that no. I tell you, the anger, you talk about burning bridges. I wrote a sitcom script in 2002 with Sam Simon, who was one of my best friends for 10 years, turned out to be an enormous asshole, then he died.
Late Sam.
And I, whatever, it's a real time. I mean, as far as sitcom resumes go, you're talking about the 27 Yankees, man. I mean, they created Tracy Ullman, then created the Simpsons. Wow. Was the head writer for the first 5 years of The Simpsons. Conan O'Brien was a writer under his regime, and Conan, when I got to be friendly with him from doing a show, would tell me, he goes, yeah, that guy was very impressive as far as, jokes were concerned. And, he left after 4 years. And when I got to know him, Sam got drunk one night and told me that he hadn't worked on the show for 12 years. And his deal re-upped. They bought him out, and his deal re-upped because it stayed on for so long, which meant he got all the money back that he originally thought he was going to abandon. So he would get it. They would round off because it was merchandise. Every time someone bought a Simpsons keychain, he got a piece of that. So he would get a check. They rounded it off every quarter. He told me, and he was drunk in Vegas, but I'm pretty sure he got a check for $20 million every quarter. So $80 million a year was what they rounded it out to. And they said, "Is that good with you? That figure? Do you think it'll be more?" I goes, "No." He goes, "That's fine." That's what he said. While he was making like $800,000 a week directing the Drew Carey show, which was literally tip money, and he had a bookie too. Me and Norm were losing bets. We were fucking down money, and Sam, a kid, fucking freckle-faced kid from UCLA, would be a runner for a bookie. That's what they look like in LA. Would drop off money in a brown paper bag on the Warner Brothers lot to Sam because he was on the next fucking day. You go, my bookie, I broke him again. This is crazy. Wow. We wanted to strangle him. Oh my God. But he was very, he hated network people, and he was very, politically incorrect. He was like a right-wing guy. It was very refreshing. So we wrote this, me and Frank Sebastiano, who I wrote Beer League with, we wrote a sitcom for NBC, Good Money. Everybody liked it. Everybody fucking liked it, except one woman. Her name was Joanne Alfano. Short hair, comfortable shoes. Do the math.
Comfortable shoes.
You know what I'm saying?
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
Extra white Pumas and blue jeans.
This was pre-Birkenstock, right?
Yeah, do the math.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Had a haircut like Steve Garvey. Same amount of hair on the arms, too. I'm kidding. She's very attractive. Hot body. Very, very sweet woman. DreamWorks was the studio. NBC was the... this is when you knew it was decline. So this is 2002. I was on Howard for a while. That's how I got the deal again. So, because all those fucking executives listening to the show was like shooting fish in a barrel. And we thought it was going to get on the air. We thought, this is a slam fucking dunk. DreamWorks is a studio. We have a meeting with Jeffrey Katzenberg. He's the K. You know, DreamWorks, SKG. Oh, no, what is he? He's the K, yeah. Spielberg is S. K is Katzenberg. G is David Geffen. He's the K. He goes, all right, we really want to get this show on the air, and they're looking for TV syndication. They go, if it gets to be on the fence with the network, maybe Steven will make a call. We said, excuse me? Steven? Yeah, we really want to get Steven Spielberg will get on the phone and say, yeah, push it through. And it'll probably get pushed through if Steven Spielberg, from the set of Schindler's List, calls. Push Artie sitcom through. That's what Katzenberg said. But Katzenberg is a huge, look at the fucking the Entertainment Weekly. He's always in the top 10 most powerful people. It's Katzenberg, man. So this one woman doesn't want to do it. One fucking woman doesn't want to do it. Sam loved the show. This woman put Emeril Lagasse's sitcom on TV. That was her resume.
Oh, God.
Okay, Emeril, the cooker.
He had a sitcom?
For 4 episodes.
Wow.
That was her thing. She had got that on the air.
Almost remember that.
That's what she got on the air. Sam Simon liked the script and she didn't. Sam had The Simpsons, Cheers he was involved with, the show Taxi, Barney Miller, Tracy Ullman.
Never heard of them.
And the Drew Carey show.
Never heard of them.
Okay, so based on the info, I said, and I pissed people off on the phone too. One of them might have been a gay Asian guy too. He was at every meeting. I don't know. So I said, I'm trying not to be condescending here, guys, but listen. This woman who put Emeril on the air doesn't like the script. Sam Simon, with his resume, likes the script. Based on that information alone, without reading a letter of the script, you should pick it up for 2 years. The fact that she doesn't like it and he does, that's all you need to know. Emerald. Bam. That was what, Bam, they were going to call the show. Because he put spices on a steak. It goes, Bam. The Simpsons guy likes it. She doesn't. What the fuck are we even talking about? So she wasn't there. I guess she was shaving. So yeah. I don't know. I'm making assumptions on it. So, it was very frustrating. So they kept giving notes that we didn't understand. So they said, you should maybe have a person
more food in it. Can we put more food?
Well, listen to what they said. Maybe a person of color. And, sexuality, maybe have a gay person, a person. So we said, you know what we're going to do? We'll kill two birds with one stone. He's going to have, Artie will have a gay black neighbor. And they said, that's amazing. And we wrote in a gay black neighbor. I said, well, the pilot, he's not going to have much to do. We got to develop. He goes, yes, sir. And we have to name him. You have to give full names for regulars. So we made the guy's name Ed Gainiger. G-A-E. I have the piece of paper.
They didn't like this?
Gaeneger. E-I-E-R was how you spelled it. Gainiger. And you spelled that Gainiger. Ed Gainiger. That's the only change we made.
They loved it?
We sent it in. I got a call. My agent was UTA at the time, too. I got a call going, listen, they got the changes. I said, yeah. And I'm pretty sure they're going to send you a check and stop it. Yeah, no. I said, well, is Steven going to call? I was told Steven would call. Well, what happened was Sam gets on the phone with Katzenberg. Katzenberg says, well, let's have lunch and talk about it. Everyone was afraid to go against this woman because that's her job. Her job is to say yay or nay to shit. And if they step in, it's going to look like they just overrode a woman's, they just fuck you. I have power. I'm going to override. And Spielberg didn't want to touch it because, it's me just telling a woman who may or may not be a certain type of woman.
Probably.
You're done. No, I'm saying I'm the guy. It's the bully time. So no one wanted to do it. So they were afraid to fucking do it.
You should have named the neighbor Ebony McFaggot.
No, well, that combined with the fact that we named the guy Gainiger.
Love that. I absolutely fucking love that.
I credit to Sam too. I thought of it joking around. Surprise! It was my joke. I said we're not going to do this. He goes, yeah, I'll send it in. Sam was real nonchalant. Like people with money. I go, well, we have to do this in New York because I was going to stay. The premise was I'd stay on Stern, shoot it in New York. And he goes, I'll get a house in Connecticut, a guest house for the dogs or something. Okay. The entire time we wrote it, he had a suite at the St. Regis on West 55th Street, 2 blocks from the Stern show. Oh God. So we got paid him, and nothing ever happened. Joanna, I don't know what happened to Alpha. I don't know if she ever got something on the air. I always thought it would be a great moral victory if her show was about a gay black guy called Gainiger.
Be great.
On an all-new Gainiger. On an all-new MacGyver.
Sounds like it's going to be on the new schedule for E.
Look, of course we didn't mean
Did you pitch Seacrest?
We didn't mean anything offensive by it. We were just trying to comply with the notes. Sometimes you take notes literally, and you really try to go at them. So help. Oh God, I'm thinking about that room when I pitched it. That had to really piss people off. And coincidentally enough, years later, another friend of mine was pitching a show. I guess she moved over to HBO, and it was a cartoon that HBO was going to do. And the guy, I never met the guy, but the guy, as a writer, said, they said, what talent would you want involved? He goes, well, the lead, I'm thinking about Artie Lang. And my agent had someone in the room at the time and said, did Artie do something to HBO, like rape her? Like, what do you mean? Because there was a long pause after they mentioned it. And the woman the head woman, what's her name? Nina, I don't know. Something, long name. You recognize the name. She said, dead serious, I think Artie Lang is an ogre. The word ogre. So it's surprising I'm working with HBO now. I think they changed, though. They like young people, you know. The head of the comedy development has to be young. I don't know, you're not funny when you're young, right? I mean, you know. What the
You haven't
fuck?
been through enough to be funny.
That's what I mean. Well, I know Eddie Murphy was funny, but not in a way where, like, I'd much rather see him do stand up now after, you know, got fucking wives and divorced. That's when, you know, Richard Pryor lit it up on stage, but Eddie Murphy just could do characters, impressions. But yeah, it's a 15-year-old's problems. Although Chappelle, I gotta say, when Chappelle was, I guess I first saw Dave Chappelle do stand up. He might have been 17 years old because he went to the high school for performing arts in D.C. And you know, everybody was talking about him when he came up here. He got an agent out of the high school.
Wow.
And you remember that, Jan?
No, I wasn't here yet.
Well, the first New York Comedy Festival was not called. It was called the Toyota Comedy Festival, and 1993. And I got a spot on it. I did two of the worst. Oh my God, outdoor gigs in Staten Island. I have a picture in my bedroom, actually. You'll see it's in the Round in Staten Island. There's people with cataract glasses on. They're looking like you could see, like, what's going on? Like,
What is that noise?
Well, yeah. Not only
I
was
smell salami.
not only was I not entertaining them, I was annoying them. I was doing the direct opposite of what I was meant to do. And so anyway, but I was in the festival, so I got a chance because any comic who performed in the festival got a ticket to the gala at the end at the Avery Fisher Hall, and they said, the young face on the gala, pretty intimidating room. Dennis Miller hosted it.
Wow.
Was 4,000 people. It was Dave Chappelle, and I had heard about him and saw him one time down at the Comedy Cellar, and I thought he was funny, but you can't really gauge it. And my God, was he good? Oh, holy shit!
Wow.
I destroyed. And but not with, because Dave doesn't do impressions like that, or he about life. It's the stuff about life. Probably 19 at the time. Really impressive shit. So I guess he might be the only one I could. Some people can do impressions, what makes you funny, but you're right. You got to live life a little. I mean, that Richard Pryor thing that everybody loves, that classic one. He's 40 years old in that. We went through a lot. And I guess Letterman had a famous quote where he thought 35 was like the perfect. You're not too old to be sick of performing, and you're still like energetic up there, kind of. But you're old enough to have gone through shit, So I tell you again, Ryan. I give Ryan props, man. You're the fearless comic, man, of your generation. Ryan showed us a picture of him doing a set in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. At it looked like a rave in a studio apartment. What was that? Like the guy
Best gig of my life.
It was like all these hipsters in a Williamsburg.
That's what it is. You
Yeah,
gotta do the hip shows.
Right.
The hip shows are apparently this dude's apartment.
you
His
just found
comedy
out
show.
about it. You went and you did
Gotta be
spots
some
at the
trust fund kid.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, big money. Big
Is
money.
that true?
Oh yeah,
Trust fund? Yeah.
How could it not be?
I guess so. Yeah.
None of them-
Right. How
none of
else
them
do they
work.
have?
It's like entertain for me.
Right.
It's like that
All
joke
live in
you
this
did. Like
loft.
they could do Shakespeare in their backyard.
Right.
Let me get some comics to work for me because I'm rich
Well,
but not
we
funny.
all have a price.
Yeah.
These
You're right.
they leave their door open. They supply all of the booze and all the weed, and then
Wow.
neighbors
Whoa,
come
whoa.
in.
And
those,
chicks
you know-
come in.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow.
Well-
Williamsburg. Good Lord.
Well, last this past Thursday, again, I did that. Mark Cuban has this network, Access TV, and Gotham Comedy Club here in New York. They have a deal where they do a season every Thursday night at 10 o'clock. It's a live television show. It's live TV stand up. You can be dirty as hell. They don't care what you do. You can be dirty as hell, and the pay was good. For me, I thought I accidentally said what I get paid to Joe Matarese because I thought it was a favorite. What an awkward moment, man.
Where was I?
He goes, "You got what?" I go, I thought everybody got the same. He goes, "No."
No.
It was very different. I won't say it here, but the price was
The comma
very
made
low.
it different.
Yeah, I won't say it here, but it was a very different number. So, but I had done it before and I liked it. It's real quick, 8 minutes live TV, blah blah blah. But this lineup was really a bunch of old sort of curmudgeons that, the fans did come out to see us in particular. So it was Gilbert Gottfried and Jackie the Joke Man Martling, who tells old jokes but destroys, and Orlando Jones, my friend from Mad TV, and
Mario, is that right?
Mario Cantone, who is absolutely a killer, a great comic, and So that was the lineup.
That cocksucker's great.
That cocksucker. Yeah. Good. That's
Thank
good.
you, Artie.
That was good. Cocksucker.
Said that wrong. I said that wrong.
And so live TV, the audience is crazed. They've been sitting there a long time, and I guess they have to sit there a while longer to pay the check. Blah blah blah. And instead of just having it raw or play music, they have a comic come up, and I'm like, I'm saying, like, we were all after we all did our sets.
Who the hell's gonna want to go up and do this?
I closed, and Gilbert came up and kept saying I had AIDS and everything, and people are guffawing, throwing shit, and we're fucking around on stage, and we leave finally, and I couldn't even imagine a comic having to go up there after that.
Fortunately,
And who's passing by me is Ryan Reed. I go, Ryan, what's up, man? Where you going? I thought
man.
I thought he was there. I thought you were you hanging out or? He goes, no, I'm doing a set right now. I go, what? I go, you're doing a set?
Why do you hate yourself?
I said, you know what? I had to go. I would, part of me wanted to stay. I was being mobbed, but I know. I was. What? You're doing a set? And he laughed because he knew what I was thinking. He goes, yeah, man. I mean, it's like you look for the craziest.
Anyone can do it when the cameras are on.
For money.
As they're wrapping up cords and sweeping the floor. That's when I like to go on.
Gino is like that too. Gino's fearless. I think he said
Gino's
about
done acts.
Oh, hey.
Well, no, I did the show and I saw him too that time. You hosted it and I'm like, what are you doing here?
Oh
like,
wait, you were on the one I hosted.
Yeah, we did one, and then he's like, I'm going
That's
up at
right.
the end. I'm
That's
like, and I
right.
just look at Reese. I'm like, you're amazing. He's like, I don't want to talk
That's
about
right.
it.
What did you get? What did you get for that night?
What's that?
What did you get for that night? We'll compare.
It wasn't a comma. I got scale.
I just don't want to have the same
What did you get?
25,000.
That's exactly what I got.
Really? Good lord.
That's exactly what I got.
Well, I said what I got, and there was the pause.
But
when Joe, the pause.
I wish I was there to see Joe's face.
Well, he was at home, and there was a long pause. No, so bravo, brother.
Yeah, no.
Good
hey.
for you. That's what you have to do, man.
It's a tough spot, but
How'd it go?
It takes a while to get them, but when you get them,
Yeah, right, exactly.
because they're like they don't give a shit who you are.
No,
Just,
you
it
got
takes-
it. It's very tough.
and you can't even fight with them. You got to let them do their check. Like they'll come around. You got the material.
You get a couple of laughs. People start to go, "What's going on?"
Right.
They tune in.
Why is this guy talking during our check?
Orlando was actually that's the part that freaked me out the most. At some point during my set, I look over. He's dead center.
Yeah,
he's at
really?
a table.
He
I'm like,
sat down?
What is this guy doing?
Orlando is a unique cat, man. I lived with him for a couple of years. Oh, the pussy that guy got.
And deservedly so.
Wow. And again, like Orlando is one of my best friends. Saved my life. I love him. He's a jet black person, very very black. And, he would date very very white women, very white,
White cocksucker.
blonde, very white, southern white. And when they kissed, again, I was a different person. I was very provincial, coming from North. I was startling. That's the word. Startling.
Don't put that in your mouth, young lady.
Did you scream no?
Now listen, I was from Newark. I was from Newark. I never saw this. I said, listen, someone's going to come in and stop this, right? It was L.A. No one stopped it. And then what happens is you either hate the people, like it's the one episode of WKRP in Cincinnati. I remember you learn that you either hate the person or you embrace it. And I embraced it. I embraced the interracial stuff. And I eventually, the third year, I was in L.A. I embraced it and I had sex with a black woman. And I'm telling you, best $50 I've ever spent. Yeah, very white one. You know the chick Brittany Daniels from Joe Dirt, the chicken Joe Dirt.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. He would be downstairs with her in bed. We had a loft. I'd be upstairs watching Biography.
Well, you'd have it on while you were masturbating.
Oh, that took 4 seconds.
Done. Why are you yelling "done" in the middle of biography?
I'd hear them moaning. Did you guys know Albert Einstein's from Sweden? I'm sorry, it's Switzerland.
This highbrow stuff really cracks me
I made a mistake. Can you hear me? I'm watching Biography. I'll give you some updates.
I made an oopsie.
Yeah. Guys? Guess who invented the light bulb? Not Edison. You guys all right? Is anyone going to the refrigerator?
You're missing this.
he was a vegan. He's the first vegan I ever met.
Really?
Yeah, he was all
Not
the,
that
he was
you
all
met.
the non-cultured things I never had in Newark, exposed to in Newark. He was like a black guy who dated white chicks, a vegan. He was everything.
I didn't even think they had vegans
And
back then. I
when
really
very
didn't think-
vegan. This was '95. Yeah, he was. I mean, so he'd have like couscous and special kale sandwiches right next to. I'd go to Denny's. It'd be moons over my hammy. That's what it said. Right next to the fucking.
That is good eating.
And then he lived in that. I moved in. He had lived there for a year in this loft, and there was the toilets had no pressure, water pressure. There was no suction. So I would clog the shitter. I would go, listen, I eat food. I don't shit dust because I eat food. We got to get this fixed. The Mexican maid clogged it. She ate food. He's eating fucking couscous. We need fucking pressure. I had one buddy, my friend, he was dating this girl, cute girl, but she fucking, me and Orlando were at the studio rehearsing. I got a call from my friend. He goes, Angela clogged the shitter. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's great.
I think she took like a spanner, it's span like a bridge, span both sides of the toilet.
It's called a spanner.
And I told Orlando, he goes, I don't know, tell her to clean the fucking. He got very black. It was, fun times, man. Late 20s and living with a vegan.
Is he a drinker? Is he a partier?
No, not at all. No drugs at all. I drink a glass of wine. Very healthy guy. He saved my life though. Several times. I mean, it was, again, the stories. I couldn't even tell what really happened. Statute of limitations. I don't know if the bodies have dissolved yet. So it was crazy fun in L.A. You're rolling around L.A., you used to, I was making $16 grand a year driving a cab doing some stand-up gigs. Like, I'm living in L.A. making $10 grand a week. Holy Christ. Yeah. And I had issues. I didn't spend the money on clothes, but I was broke, put it that way. Got some swag, guys, from the Apatow HBO shoot. Yeah,
You're looking good.
What do you think of this leather jacket? I took a black leather jacket from.
It's very nice.
Are you serious?
Black jackets matter. Yeah, I like that.
Don't get us in trouble. That's a true story.
I fucking love that.
God's got my hand to
Like
God.
as soon as I'm gonna call my brother, and be like, you know what he named the character, Pete?
My hand to God. We pictured the audition process. Mario Joyner coming in. What is the name of the guy? Ed.
You're really hitting the gay part, but I need you to work on the second half
The
of
name
the
of the guy's Ed.
Maybe if you were to steal a dildo.
It just probably not the move when you're on the fence.
Gay nigger.
I was gonna. Chris Rock has Everyone Hates Chris, and Ray Romano has Everyone Loves Raymond. I was gonna go in the middle and try to see if I could, I'm on the fence about Artie Lang. The jury's out about what I think of Artie.
The opposite of love is apathy, and that is Artie Lang.
Well, yeah. The Stench of Failure. It was my last. I was going to name that Depression Without Genius.
I remember you saying
That's the
that.
worst.
That's a great
They
name.
talked me out of it.
Probably because it's too fucking intelligent for the people
they
there.
talked me out of it. They thought I said,
Depression
Stench of
Without
Failure.
Genius.
Yeah, I guess so. And then I said, okay, well, the other, I said, maybe The Stench of Failure is funny, but it's a little hacky because people, he goes, no, it's like, everyone under 30 does that thing where they go, I got this, you got this. Oh, gee, that's the new Don't Go There. Shut the fuck up. It's in every movie. And, so I knew what they do. The promos were like literally me smelling something that stinks. I'm like, okay. Way to be on the fucking money there.
It's pretty good.
Way to hit it on the bullseye. So the fucking Giants, man, I tell you, Gino, I was happy the football. Right, do you follow football well?
A little bit.
I mean,
Not as much as Gino, but
my job.
What, are you a fan of one particular team?
I'm a Jets fan.
You're Jeff. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, look, congrats, whatever you deserve.
That
Listen,
wasn't a win. That was a giant loss.
I don't know what to say about
We'll take
this.
it.
Yeah.
Well, you should take it. It's a Jet Met town right now. I don't know how to put this. I love Coughlin. I've always loved him. He's that old curmudgeon guy. Fuck it. He's got 2 rings, man. 2 fucking rings. But he has to be. Someone has to say, we're going to make you today, and then someone's got to get a phone call going, he's gone, and there's nothing we can do about it.
They could easily
They
be
fucking
9.
whacked him.
They could easily be 9-3 right now. Easily.
Yeah, well,
they
no,
gave
you know
away
what? I'll
4
tell you
games.
why.
4.
I'll tell you why you can never truly get excited about this team because they have the worst defense ever.
their defense is terrible.
Their defense is awful.
Ryan Fitzpatrick put the ball in the air 50 times.
No.
They didn't pick off 1 ball.
They haven't had a middle linebacker that stopped anybody for a decade. They just, Pierce is done. What the fuck? Yeah, and Coughlin's done. I mean, Eli, fine, but you might have to do some sort of trickery with Tom Coughlin. He's gone.
Tell you what,
He's gone. There's nothing we can do
when
about
the
it.
Giants are leading with 4 minutes left in the game, say, "Hey Tom, there's a call for you in the locker room," and then just let Spagnuolo. He can land this. He can land this game because the calls he's making are absolutely fucking retarded.
Well, he looks. I mean,
Retarded.
He's making calls that, and I'm not even, trying to be funny here. He like an old guy. He's like a dumb old guy that you hang out
Let's
with.
pretend you had some money on the game and there's 5 minutes left and you're up 12 and a half fucking points
Yeah.
and you'd lose. Unfucking acceptable.
No, again, they 2 rings is hard because who has 2 fucking rings? Look, I mean, Bears fan. By the way, the story of the Christina Cavallari's brother's missing.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw that.
Jay Cutler's
Been, gone for a week.
The hot chick. What show was she on? Laguna Hills. Laguna Hills, right?
She was on
The Hills, I think, right?
The Hills.
He was
you
too?
Fucking no. Just say it.
I didn't see it.
Wait, he was on something too?
Dan is so deathly afraid that we're going to call him gay. He pretends not to know anything.
Don't be a cocksucker.
I
Tell
don't
us what
know.
show he was on.
I don't know what she's on. I don't know.
She was on the Hill.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I'm
the Hill,
sure
right?
of it.
The Hills, okay, something like that. A really hot chick. Her brother is missing. He was in the wilderness of Utah hiking.
Yeah.
Now, okay, this becomes the story of the century if he was eaten by bears. How great would that be?
That would be great.
That would be, how great would that be? There's a good chance. God does have a sense of humor. Wilderness of Utah, there's a good chance bears were involved.
That's fucking
There's a
hysterical.
good chance he's being shit out by a bear right now. Well, this Italian food sucks. He's being shit out by a bear.
It's too fucking
Oh,
funny.
I just want to tape of her crying over it. Yeah. Oh, he said there's a picture of him. He just looks like every good-looking asshole you ever see in L.A.
Utah.
Utah. It was hiking, I got a lot of friends that grew up and go to Utah. I can really relate to that. Yeah, he was right. That's what he was doing. He was in the wilderness of Utah. And so he got eaten by a bear. They should sign him. Whatever bear ate him, they should sign.
Yeah.
Better. And again, the picture they show of Cutler and Cavallari, they're on some red carpet. She looks happy as hell to be there. He looks like a retard. He looks like, what should I do? He's not a winner. He's not a winner. Take it from a winner. He's not a winner. Take it from me, a real go-getter. I just don't. Again, there's a good. I mean, is there a good chance he's eaten by bear? Utah? Are bears in Utah?
Yeah.
Well, the name of the basketball team is Jazz. It throws you off. That made a lot of sense. I know. We got to follow the story. We have to follow this story.
Maybe he just went to Vegas.
She's a piece of ass. The picture they showed of her. She squeezed out a couple of puppies too, right?
Sailor Moon. What'd they name the second kid?
Well, the Cutler?
Yeah.
Sailor and Moon?
No, Jonathan. The middle name is Sailor.
Utah has large black bears.
Yeah. And there you go. You're talking about the Jazz again, right?
Oh my God, that's
Getting that a lot of white players,
That's
too.
great. That's fucking great. There's no doubt. That's fucking great. That's like Dan Marino's sister-in-law gets killed by a dolphin. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh my God. Oh, Fitzpatrick's brother-in-law gets in a plane crash. Let's keep going with this. What would the Bengals do? Lions.
Killed in Vegas at a show. Live.
Oh, if you're in Utah, and I looked at the kid, he's in shape. Clearly, he knows his way around a hiking kit. I think he was alone too.
Wow, that's weird.
The fuck's that?
Cam Newton's brother-in-law gets killed by a Black
And they-
Panther.
Cam Newton's like a Pink Panther.
Jameis Winston's brother-in-law gets mugged because these people are
Oh,
dangerous.
that's great. Cam Newton's a Pink Panther. The Pink Panther starring Cam Newton. For you guys not in the know, there's a reason that's funny.
Drew Brees' brother-in-law gets killed by Kim Kardashian's kid.
Oh yeah, well hopefully
Saint.
Hopefully the kid gets killed in it. Now Google Cam Newton /rumors, and you'll know why the Pink Panther's funny.
Is that a rumor? I didn't know that.
What?
That he might be. Did you say cocksucker?
He was my when I played in the DirecTV Beach Bowl for 3 straight seasons, and I was quarterback. He was our coach the first season in Indianapolis, and he is very flimsy.
There's something hee-hoo about a boy that does.
That's what it is. I say it's a football, son. Haven't you ever seen a football before? I say there's something yee about a boy.
I love fuck.
Oh my God! When I got old enough to realize, you laugh at that cartoon the whole time, and you realize he's calling the little hen kid gay. It's a baseball, son. He's calling the kid gay because he wants to do math instead of play baseball.
He has
That
glasses.
is right. Again, he has glasses.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. It's a baseball, son. Haven't you ever seen a baseball before? Haven't you ever played baseball before? I said to something, yee. He looks right at the fucking camera.
Oh, that's.
I said to something, yee. About a boy who's never played baseball. He's calling the kid a fruit
That's great.
Why is he out with the kid?
because he wants to fuck the mother.
Yeah, the mother makes him, right?
No, I
No,
no, the hen was old and ugly.
Well, no, he had to marry her because of.
Oh, to stay warm for the
Yeah,
winter.
for the-
You're right.
He had to live. It was. I'll say. The episode starts off with he's reading the newspaper. He smacks the dog in the ass, and he sees the dog's newspaper. He goes, I'll say. It says coldest winter ever coming to this area. I need a place to stay. Last year I was out in the cold. And then he sees like the hen's going, hey, that hen lives in that hen house. It's mighty warm. I say mighty warm in that hen house.
That's great.
Later, he shows up with chocolates.
I want to watch that episode now.
Ooh, a man. Ooh, a man. I say, here's chocolates, here's flowers. All right, our courtship is over. Should I move in now? Where do I sleep? I'll say, you can't sleep there. That's for my little boy. Where's the boy? I've taken a liking to him. We have something to do today. Do you mind?
What was his name?
Oh, what is his name?
I remember.
Oh, what is it?
I mean, you remember.
You're a better man than I am.
No,
What is it?
you remember. I'm enjoying.
I'm improvising. I don't know.
Egbert. It was Egbert.
Oh,
It was Egbert.
I say Egbert. I say, what does Egbert like to do?
I remember him.
Oh, he likes to. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll figure something
I
out.
remember him showing up with the chocolates, like you're saying.
He goes. Here's the chocolates. Here's the flowers. All right, our courtship's over.
How about when
Where am I sleeping?
How about when he's hiding in the box and he lifts up the shovel? He's like, I better not look. I just might be in there.
They play hide and go seek. So the kid is like a math genius, and so Foghorn Lake. That's one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my life.
my God.
The kid's a math genius. So he plays hide and go seek. He goes, all right, we'll play hide and go seek. So he gets Foghorn Leghorn to start looking for himself. He fucking does some math thing, and so Foghorn Leghorn's looking for himself.
Oh.
He opens up a tree. He goes, I better not look. I say, I just might be in there.
I just might be in there. Oh,
So he goes, that's enough of this, boy. That's enough of this math. It's time for us to be men.
They still air that? No, right?
No, God.
no, that's a problem with society. The Looney Tunes is on like 3 a.m. on
That's
Boom.
that's on the
on Boom or
that's
whatever.
on the when Life Wasn't Gay channel.
Yeah, but you can't find
That-
Looney Tunes anymore. You watch all this
no.
other shit.
So then he starts trying to get the kid to play baseball. Oh God.
That's great.
I see.
I better not look. I just might be in
I
there.
just might be in there. Meanwhile, he's doing an Amos and Andy voice. Nothing is right about it.
Well, yeah, a lot of moral questions there.
So funny. So
I
fucking.
say it says worst winter ever. And like he has to do all the exposition and yells it out. I'll say worst winter ever. I needs a place to stay. Oh, that hen. Oh, that's where Egbert sleeps.
He really was. He was an underrated Looney Tunes character. Remember the Rhode Island Red
They're
episode?
all
His
great.
obnoxious cousin.
Oh, Oh, what happened when he plays football with the dog? I'll say, hit me. I'm open for a lateral. Nice boy, but about as sharp as a sack of wet mine. This boy's making more noise than two skeletons throwing a fit on a tin roof.
He's so dumb he thinks a Mexican border pays rent. It's friggin' great.
Oh, that was our education.
Great.
That's what happens when you don't grow up on the fucking Pixie, whatever the fuck's. What is it? The Ninja Turtles.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, he was funny, man. They were all funny. I mean, Bugsy was funny too. Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
The older Daffy was funny. Not the Daffy
younger,
Daffy,
no.
not the angry Daffy.
You don't like the Angry Daffy?
I liked him, but
That's exactly like the Angry George Carlin.
but the earlier, I like they were debating.
I like the political Daffy.
which of Daffy's resume we like. But I like him,
no,
like
what
him
are you
early.
talking about?
Early Daffy's very close to Bugs.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
early
well-
Daffy was much daffier.
What are you talking about? We're talking about two separate things.
No, if you look at when Daffy Duck was
when Mel
he would
Blanc's kid took over the voices, I bet you like that too.
no.
Remember that?
No.
Clearly, just not as good as his father.
I think when they switched to Frizz Freeling from Chuck Jones.
That was that jump the shark, baby. I'll say, we'll jump on the shark.
That's when they got away from Foghorn Leghorn.
Here's
You're
the
right.
flowers, here's the candy. I'll say
courtship
the
is over.
courtship's over. Where do I sleep?
I'm gonna YouTube that and watch that.
Not
later.
there.
No
That's where
question.
little Egbert sleep.
I better not. I just might be in there.
I better not look. I just might be in there. Oh, my favorite.
Porky Pig.
My fuck Porky.
No,
Yeah,
you're not-
a stutterer. A stutterer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
If he was on America's Got Talent, they say he has courage.
And he was never on the Tonight Show like Stuttering John. Stuttering
funny.
John was on the Tonight Show.
Funnier
by the
than
way.
John, though.
Those of you. Oh, please.
Funnier than everybody. Funnier than everybody.
Yeah.
I say, my bacon is stuttering. Those Warner Brothers cartoons were fucking just perfect. Perfect for the, to raise.
They were written by World War II vets.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even realize that.
The
greatest
Pepe Le
people-
Pew.
Yeah, right.
He's
that's
a
right.
rapey French guy.
That's right.
That's all he is.
How
He's
about-
a
yeah,
rapey
of course.
French
He's
guy.
a flimsy gay guy. French guy. That was their look on the French. Because, we couldn't fucking fly over their fucking land, Francois. Guess what? I'm going home if I survive this shit, and you're becoming a skunk. You're becoming an effeminate skunk, dickwad. That's what you get for fucking my girlfriend.
I've overstoked the furnace of love.
That's right.
I see.
It's great.
Now, there's that, and there's, the World War II guys, exactly. Those guys were
Bugs
men.
Bunny, the original transvestite.
Yeah.
The original hero.
Yeah.
Oh, those were.
And they have those band episodes, like where they had a guy in blackface and they had they were making fun of the Japs after
Oh,
World
no,
War
it's
II.
there's a lot.
There's
Well,
like band
first of
episodes.
all-
You can find them on YouTube. You just go band.
Well, they're
Looney
banned
Tunes.
now. They weren't
First of
banned
all,
then.
the-
No, that's
They
the
were
beauty
like-
of it. Yeah.
The Little Rascals ones, if you have those uncensored ones.
No.
I mean, like Stymie, the other, not Buckwheat, the other black is Stymie.
First black guy.
The one that never aired, in every episode, his father's in jail. They talk about his father being in jail. When's your papa getting out, Steiner? Don't know. Probably a few years.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, Steiner. The first time Eddie Murphy does Buckwheat, man. I remember watching that in high school. That's fucking. I got forward laughing. Tea times of 80.
T times a 80.
Yeah, I guess the fucking.
That was a classic. Buckwheat's been shot, and they just kept saying it.
I guess the UC.
Well, I did not know
the
that.
UCB chicks are funnier than that. Give me a break. All right, let's take a break. It's very.
Have you been down to UCB? You ever been in that place?
Yeah. I did years ago. I did stand up. I liked it. I have Amy Poehler and the both of the Matts and those guys were very. I was very friendly with them in the early '90s when it was just them. Amy and I actually did work with Amy. She hired me to do a voiceover for stuff, and she's always good to me. And so I what they ended up doing is really impressive, man. I mean, it used to, the Upright Citizens Brigade is the new SCTV. I mean, it's where Lauren goes together, people are character, funny character work in films. They go to UCB a lot. The one on 21st Street you're talking about? The one in New York?
When you see these season,
There's a theater, yeah.
Yeah, the season guys are pretty good. The season, like the ones who have.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I never saw a show. I did a spot once with Todd Barry. I did stand up there, and I never saw it. I want to, but again, you get over stuff. It's like I know they're probably great, but
Some of them. So
Yeah.
you got to know what you're seeing. You got to.
Yeah.
You really got to know. Like more experienced,
Nothing worse
older
than-
guys
right.
are really good, and
Yeah.
then the
Yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
worse than when improv doesn't work, man. When it doesn't work, it is. When it's
brutal.
bad. It's really the worst.
I'm impressed how gracious that audience is just to sit there for 20 minutes
Yeah,
with
because
no
they're
laughter and just
fucking
waiting.
they're brainwashed. Because they figure if they don't laugh, they're probably stupid. I don't want to see the people who run UCB see me not laugh at this. It's probably very funny.
Yeah.
You're dumb, son. You're dumb, honey.
Yeah,
that's
it's
what you're
not funny. You're just not clever
Yeah,
enough
you're
to get
dumb.
it. Yeah.
Well, that's what I used to say about it. I love Mark Maron. I love him, but in the early days of Luna Lounge in the 90s, when the one in the back of Rebar on 8th and 16th, it's a Bank of America now. That was a fun club, man. But, Mark was the MC every Monday, and he usually, destroyed. But there were times, like I said, he had a bit with William Faulkner in it, and you could see the young chicks look around the room if they were supposed to laugh. You could see them, going, whoa, Faulkner. Oh, yeah, Faulkner. That's great. William Faulkner, right? Yeah.
Sound and the Fury. I know what you mean.
Well, telling you, they would look around, go, should I laugh? And it's so sickening. And the same thing sort of happens. Yeah, right. It's like, hey, if people are laughing. They drag their boyfriend. You're the stupid one, honey. You don't get it.
Would you?
I guess hello, Sylvia Plath. You don't know who she is? You're so
Would
embarrassing.
you rather go to a improv show with your girlfriend or join ISIS? What is?
I'd rather see ISIS do improv.
They're both just about as funny.
Okay,
So,
give us a situation.
Give us a suggestion to Bob.
You're with a gay guy, and you behead him. You're with the four top guys on UCB, and you behead them all.
they all end with a beheading every scenario.
Show you behead a guy. And this ends with you beheading David Cross. And the entire time, David.
very funny,
The entire
David
time,
Cross.
David keeps that sarcastic, great wit of.
He played the agent in the Chipmunks, both of them.
Yeah, of course, because he has integrity. All right, let's take a break before I'm not invited to the Cross picnic. Hi, we're back. This is the Artie Lang podcast. Hi, I'm Artie Lang. What if that was really? Wait, I'm gone now. What'd you do? I can't hear something. I can't hear me. I lost my.
I didn't do anything.
I can't. It's going in and out. Static. I can't. Hello. Something happened. All right. I guess. I can't hear myself as good.
I didn't do anything. Crap.
Hello.
I have a bad cold.
Oh wait, now it's back. Oh wait, okay. Yeah, you see.
Okay, that's
You
it.
touch the cord. Is it going to go in and out like that?
I'll hold it.
Wait, don't. Dan, that's going to make me very nervous.
Put my phone up.
Okay, do that. Does it work? Good. Okay.
Okay.
Well, we should really look into that because your phone is the only thing between us and not being on the air. Yeah, it's just me and Dan here later in the pod. When we left you, it was Ryan and Gino, and we had to stop. This podcast shit is fucking great. You can stop, you can do stuff in your life, you go back. And I apologize for getting out late. The people that do listen to this evidently like hearing it because they do ask very passionately on the internet.
Yes.
When the fuck is the podcast going up? The one guy, I forget who it was. It was either Gunner or Mr. Morris. Who do we meet at the Valley Forge gig? Steve Torelli?
Steve Torelli.
Yeah. Steve Torelli's a guy who's, he's been, a guy from the beginning who listens to the podcast. And I got a cold. And he's, a name you see all the time on Twitter. And, then he took a picture. I had to do a meet and greet at Valley Forge at the casino after my gig. And I talk about slave labor. I had to do a fucking hour show, and then I had a 20-minute meet.
You were way longer than an hour. You
So,
didn't-
I
yeah.
do what, an hour and 5. It was like an hour and 15 minutes. I had some new shit. It was a good crowd. Like 2,200 people sold out there. Nice. And it's a lot of tickets being sold lately. I think the boy is back, if you know what I mean.
just in time for me to, I believe, drop dead from my internal body. Just, again, the Scott Weiland thing we have to talk about. Scott Weiland was the same exact age as I was, 48 years old, and he looked way healthier than me. Way thin. I'll get into that. I tweeted about how I met him once at the Stern Show, and he kind of disarmed me a little bit. Charming guy. I wouldn't have fucked him or anything, but you can see why chicks would fuck him. I guess some guys too. But I what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Gunner.
It's Gunner.
Steve Torelli.
Steve Torelli. Yeah.
He came up, so I had to do a meet and greet. So our fucking show, 20-minute meet and greet, $40,000. What the fuck is that? Anyway, we need some fucking new people in the White House if that's the case. This country's bullshit. The guy comes up, very, very nice guy, very, polite, calm, and with a nice girl. And I took a picture. He wasn't aggressive, I guess. I'm very tense at those meet and greets. I'm afraid of my fans. A lot of them, they're nice people. A lot of them come up and they have tattoos of me. You know how disconcerting it is? I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people out there with a tattoo of Artie Lang doing something for my career. I've in the last couple of years at live events, I have had people come up to me, guys in their mid-40s, without muscle tone, by the way, wearing those biker, like short sleeve, no sleeve jean jackets. If you have no muscle tone, that's a hard thing to pull off, man. What a fucking look. I dated Adrian for 5 years, Dana for 5 years, a girl before that for 3 years. None of them saw me without a shirt on, ever. Sex, everything. Well, we had sex in the shower a couple times. I had my shirt on. Like T-shirt type thing. Which they were, very sex in the above ground pool at the neighbor of my mother's. But my friend Mikey and Tony Testa, their mother, Alma Testa, she had they had an above ground pool that was the size of the coffee table I'm sitting at right now. Literally, they had a very small backyard in an urban area, like look at one of those blue collar, lower middle class blue collar Jersey neighborhoods. It had all the backyards were real close together. And it had a tiny little garage. We had a 7-foot hoop in the back. And when we got to be about 16, we could dunk like fucking Dr. Goddamn J. We would have games of rough, 21, and just fucking pound each other and dunk. Life's never been that good. Again, never.
That's the way Norwood Park was.
Ever.
And everybody had those little flimsy pools with the caved-in walls. Yeah. If you get one person in there that does the wrong kind of dive.
But you were into the bed. You were the leader hose of the European backpack. Well, you've picked Trevor for sports? Never, right?
Yes.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
I was.
You were not an ad. Come on, man.
Okay.
Admit it. What's the matter with that?
I was on the Norwood Park All-Star team
That was
for
probably,
baseball.
Oh, yeah. I saw a picture
the Minnesota Twins.
I saw a picture of those fucking, what do they call them? The skeevy boys? What are they? What were you at Alta? What were you? What was the name of the kid you said you were? The guards that we were goofing on.
Patrol boy.
Patrol boy? Dude, there's two types of kids. There's kids who are patrol boys, and there's kids who play sports on the sports teams who make fun of the patrol boys.
I was good at basketball, and I was okay at baseball.
No way you were good at basketball.
Okay.
You were good at
You didn't beat me? So what are you talking about?
I was living in Chicago in the
okay.
mid-'60s. What do you mean? I didn't beat you.
You didn't beat me when we played over at by the W Hotel here.
Oh, please. Come on. I'm fucking, I go 2 steps, I have a heart attack. You got me in my late 40s.
It was right at the beginning of DirecTV. You were thin then.
So out of shape. My body's just riddled. I have a cough now, and these 2
It can't be that it's 20 below in this.
Well, I do. I have air conditioning on. That's for. Let me tell you something. I see Scott Weiland died. I pick up the fucking paper, and it says, Scott Weiland dead. He fell asleep on the road. By the way, it's the on the road thing that kills me. Poor Geraldo, my friend Greg Geraldo, man. I loved Greg, and Greg was one of those guys, though, like Mitch Hedberg, another great comedian who you guys might know. I knew Greg much better than Mitch, but I knew them both pretty well. And by the end, all three of us were so at the end of their lives. I mean, I'm thinking about that. But there was more than one occasion where the three of us left the Comedy Cellar and went and got something at a diner. And it was just the three of us. And by the year 2000, everyone in that crew had known each other since like the mid-90s. And the crew, I don't know, it's like Dave Attell. Everybody's in their late 40s or early 50s right now who came up in the early to mid-90s. My buddy Russ Maneve is certainly in there, and Dave Attell, of course, to me the best comic of our generation here, and mostly New York guys. Louis C.K., of course, is a genius and brilliant guy, and he's in that crew. Mitch Hedberg was around there, of course, Nick DiPaolo, Dave Chappelle, Greer Barnes. I guess it's racist when you start listing people and you list like 4 black guys in a row. You ever do that because you think I got to get the black guys out of the way because you don't want to seem racist? Then you go, well, before I forget one, I'll just name them all right away.
When we did the stand-up list, I all of a sudden realized
that's what
I
you do. You
I
do
had
that.
no black guys.
When
on
you
there.
realize you do that with anything, it's a weird thing with white people.
Yeah.
Like you start listing, give me your favorite. That's the worst when you try not to look racist when you're listing your favorite classic rock people. It's only Hendrix and Hendrix, and then you go. It's so obvious with that because you go, all right, Springsteen, Stones, Who, Neil Young, the Ramones, and then you go black guy, because there's a black guy listening, and you go Jimi Hendrix, of course, and then it's like the dip off is like In Living Color. Who else?
Spinners.
No, you try to think of classic rock, and you lump them all together, and you go, "Wow, I'm out of guys." After Hendrix, I'm out of guys. Lenny Kravitz, no, he doesn't make it. But Greer Barnes, the black guy, Keith Robinson, black guy.
When you guys went out to dinner, who made you guys laugh the most? Not on stage, but at the dinner.
I don't know. I wasn't. I went to L.A. early on, and I didn't really. It wasn't like a clique where we went out to dinner a lot. You're talking about a very antisocial group.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It wasn't. I'm just talking about guys who happened to be, in that generation. But there were times where you'd get together when I saw a lot of those guys, because then there was a separation. Of guys, a lot of those guys were on the Opie and Anthony show, and I came back to do the Stern show, and I came back from L.A., and I didn't realize it was a very odd, that you did that show, blah blah blah. It was weird, but who made who laugh? I don't know. It's to me, I just laugh. Dave Attell makes me laugh on and off stage, very very hard. The guy's very funny. I was in the hospital last year, and he came and he cheered me up. And he says funny shit. Colin Quinn is very much from that. You could put Colin in the generation before us, which I would say is like the Seinfelds and stuff, who were, I've met Jerry Seinfeld a couple of times, and it's very hard for him to hide the fact that he thinks I am a complete dirtbag. He's very condescending. He's got that. Jerry Seinfeld literally lifts his head up so he can look down at you. Do you notice he does that? He does that in the show. He does it with Michael Richards because Michael Richards is so tall. He goes, "How do I look down at this person?" You notice he does that thing? He lifts his head up. Watch him. You think it's like bad acting because in the first couple of years of that fucking Seinfeld show, he's so shitty at acting. You can see him mouthing the lines of the other actors waiting for his line. And the other actors are great. Yeah, he did that to me when I met him at Gotham. He was like, yeah, I know. Yeah. His head's literally up in the air. I don't like hanging around with him. I doubt we don't call each other. It's not going to affect his life. But I don't know. Everybody was funny. Dave Chappelle is a very funny guy to talk to. there's funny stories that are involved with those guys. But well, anyway, Mitch Hedberg and Greg Giraldo and myself were, I guess, technically in that era, that crew. And by the year 2000, the cat was pretty much out of the bag that we were drug addicts, the three of us. I mean, that we had that. I mean, I had very public issues by that point. And it was obvious I was in L.A. County Jail for a couple of months for parking tickets. People were concerned. There's a lot of people in that crew, too, very nice people in the AA program. I'll leave it at that. But, they try to help you out. They reach out to you. And, we had a couple of 2 separate times we went and ate dinner at this diner in New York. Mitch and Greg and I, late night thing, like 4 a.m. And we would very openly talk about how are we going to beat this, if we're going to beat this. And Mitch Hedberg had a thing. He said, I don't want to beat it. He would tell his friends. This is very dark. He would say, he would tell us, tell other people. People have confirmed this with me. He goes, look, don't stop trying to get me to stop doing heroin, because I don't want to stop. It's the only time I feel happy, when I'm high. He loved his wife dearly, and they had a very special kind of care for each other. And I resent and resist anybody who thinks people in a situation like that always enable each other. Not the case. There was a very strong love there, and life is complicated for creative types on the road. It affects your life, the heroin, to the point where Mitch drove around in a big like Winnebago type thing because you don't want to get arrested. Fine. His life was the road. He made a living on the road as a stand-up comic. He was a comic, and much like Attell is, he resented having to act in a sitcom. He didn't feel he was good at it, and people would ask him why. And he has this great bit that he turned it into about how, why would you think I'm good at that? Because I'm good at stand-up comedy. It's two totally different things, and it is. It is. It's like saying to a farmer, "You're a good farmer, okay? Well, you want to make you I forget exactly what the business. We want to make you a short order cook." And it's not the same thing because you can farm, you can't cook eggs. And writing and performing in a sitcom because you're a good stand-up comic is the same exact thing. So he said, "Look, I just want to travel and write and tell my jokes," because he was one of those rare guys who had an unbelievably original. Original delivery and an unbelievably original writing style, which makes you the closest thing you can be to a genius in comedy. So he would say, "Yeah, I want to do this until I die. I won't be happy without it. It'll affect my life." He felt he wouldn't be as creative, and that's basically what he did. But they he had a big trailer. And he would drive all over the place in it because he didn't want to. A lot of it, people don't come right out and say shit, but it's obvious when you go through the same thing. You know what's going on. He didn't want to fly because you got to smuggle drugs through customs. And when you're an addict, it's not about doing time. It's like, could you imagine going through withdrawals in jail? Oh my God. Keith Richards writes about going through full-blown withdrawals on a side. There's a great story in the book Exile on Main Street with the Stones. And Keith Richards, after they tape the album, he tries to get clean before they go to L.A. They were going to L.A. to mix the record in the studio. So there's a month off in between where they just did whatever they wanted. Jagger just married Bianca. They went off on like a honeymoon. And, a couple of chicks who worked for the Stones, production people / assistants. It was their job to get Keith Richards to a clinic. I believe it was in Switzerland, one of those classic clinics you heard about in those cliche classic rock stories about you get your blood switched. They drain your blood and put new blood in you. Supposedly Pete Townsend had it done, all that shit. So he's going to one of those type of things, supposedly, and so he was trying to get clean. And he was shooting up, I think it said 5 times a day, directly in his veins. So you're talking about, it was a part of his body. The withdrawals would be biblical, like you know. So they're literally, this clinic was in a remote area in the mountains of Switzerland. And this woman is driving with the other woman in the car, and Keith Richards is in the back, and he did the last of the drugs in the south of France. They drove. 8 hours later, they had stopped. They had slept at a motel. They came back in the car. When they got back in the car, the withdrawals had set in. They start about 8 hours later. And anybody out there, any kid out there who's, you know, you got friends who take painkillers, it starts early now. Kids 12, 13 years old in some of these suburbs, especially. They have an older brother, friend with an older brother, no older guys. They buy these Vicodin or Percocet, Oxycodone. It's all a type of heroin. It's all opiates, and it leads to heroin, and you'll get withdrawals from them. So if you're thinking about trying, this is a living hell. There's nothing romantic about it. Every 8 hours or less, you start to go into a violent sickness that is worse than any flu you've ever had, worse than pneumonia. You have aches, you're sweaty, you're hot, you're cold. Nothing gets you comfortable. You sit up, you're not comfortable. You lay down, you're not comfortable. You can't go to sleep. Your legs start shaking. Your one leg stops shaking, your other leg starts shaking. You get headaches. Your eyes start to water. Your nose runs. It's just the worst. 4 days. 4 to 5 days. If you're cold turkey, you try to get through that. Now, they have drugs, obviously. Methadone didn't work because they transfer the addiction. Now they have this Suboxone, which works better. But Keith Richards' plan was to get to this clinic because for rich people, especially, they advertise that, you know, we'll put you under during the withdrawals. You sleep through it, and they switched out your blood. That was the key thing. So he goes, and by the time they hit the car that next morning, the 8 hours are up, and he starts to get really bad. And now it's these 2 women who don't know anything at the time, especially about heroin addiction, in the car with Keith Richards, who is the sole blood of the band in the sense that, you know, he wrote the music, sometimes all the lyrics, part of the lyrics. Sometimes Jagger wrote all the lyrics, but Keith Richards had something to do with every song, whereas Jagger might not have. And, you know, the women knew how valuable he was into this mixing process, this double album that they owed, Exile on Main Street. So you talk about money, and they did love him. They had a personal relationship with him. And they said he turned green. He was like throwing up. And the woman said to the other woman, we're going to kill Keith Richards. He's going to die on our watch. This can't happen. State trooper, cop pulls over and sees what's going on and recognizes him. He's a younger guy, and they tell him, you know, it's Richards from the Stones. The guy gets them to this clinic. Without his help, you know, it probably wouldn't happen. And, you know, Richard just collapses on the floor, and the doctor gets him in there, and he gets clean. He's in there for 3 weeks. And they do the thing, you know, under, and he doesn't have to go through the hell, and he gets back from that drug, and he gets off of that. Now he's completely clean for about a full week before they let him leave. He gets on a plane to L.A. He lands in L.A., I believe, within 24 hours. He was shooting up heroin.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's Charlie Parker, great saxophonist, heroin addict, died at 34 years old. Genius. Invented bebop with Dizzy Gillespie. Look him up. He's a fascinating guy. He would say, you know, he said one of the more poignant and intelligent things, I believe, about heroin. He said they can get it out of your body, but they can't get it out of your brain. You remember that high? And all of a sudden, Keith Richards is not high for a couple of days, and he starts to have the conversation with a record executive. And he says, I can't talk to this guy without heroin. That's what happens with TV executives, too. You go, I can't. This guy's in my life. He's going to be every day. Buddy, I'm at the mix every day. I'll be there. I will be there, man, and anything you need. Whatever Keith needs, oh, Bobbio gets. I'm Bobbio. My father owns half of the company. And I said, I got to talk to Keith, baby. You're my man. Satisfaction, man. You need to be satisfied, you call Babio. You need pussy? Right there, baby. What kind of pussy you want, Keith? Any type you want. I'm going to bring you some pussy. All right? Guess what, babe? If it's that type of the month, let it bleed. Am I right?
Oh.
The Stones, baby. Let it bleed, Keith. High five. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not exaggerating. There's people who exist like that in showbiz. They make jokes about references to your career. Artie Lang, man. We're doing this concert DVD together. Yeah. I'm with the company. Yeah, I'm with the record label. We are fucking stoked. Huge fans. Are Robin's tits real? Come on, tell us. Tell us, buddy. Love it. Love you. Let's hang, man. I know Artie parties, man. It's my lifelong dream. We got to go to a strip club. Can I go to a strip club with you? Yeah, man. I know you say you're sober on TV. I know, whatever, man. If something falls out of my pocket, if something falls out of my pocket and it goes into your nose, I'm not telling anybody. You get me? Because you're talking to the guy who runs the record company, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be with you every day for the next 3 weeks. I'm with you at the junket, press tour, man. We are going to rock and roll. I'm knocking on your door every day at 8 a.m., man. We're going to work out. I'm going to get you in shape. I'm going to teach you how to do both, man. We're burning candles at both ends, my friend. And it's bitches and blow. And, you know, he's one of those white guys who's younger, so he talks like a wigger a little bit, too. That's the other annoying thing. It is going to be a dope time. It's going to be dope. KK, man, I read that you know, you're doing a midnight show over at the Rhino. Yeah, you do stand up at the Rhino. Hey, can I roll with you? Can we roll? Can my posse roll with your posse? Yeah, man. My boys from Yale are coming in. I went to Yale. Yeah, my boys from Yale, because we're going to roll with you. Big time. Yeah, I don't kick. Come on, man. When's the record dropping? When are we going to drop it? Are we dropping the record? It's a dope record. Chill, man. Just chill. Can my boys chill? Can my Yale boys chill? Yeah, man. Come on. We're just chilling, man. Check out my ride. Want to see my ride? Yeah. Look at the ass on my bitch, huh? Yeah. Hey, you feel like pulling them aside and just going, did your father send you to Yale? so you could talk like you grew up in the Marcy houses? What the fuck? So yeah, but that's what happens. People, why'd you fall off the wagon again? Keith Richards starts talking to one of those guys and goes, I have to have heroin. That's how strong heroin is. The whatever I just did, your character, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm just repeating what a guy you sound like. I'm not exaggerating. That person exists. And this is how strong of a drug heroin is. When you're on heroin, that guy is the coolest guy ever. When you're on heroin, you go, yeah, I want to go to the Rhino with you, yeah. I want to chill. I want to roll with you and your Yale boys. Jesus Christ. They text you dope, the word dope. Hey, it's the Mix Man. They always got a nickname. It's the Mix Man. What's up? Teddy Mixstein? My father's Andrew Mixstein. He owns a company. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry. Then he goes right back into the... He gets professional for a second because he thinks you forgot him. Yo, it's the Mix Man. Who? Andrew Mixstein. Yeah, Mixstein. Yeah, my father owns a company. Al Mixstein, my father. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I met you at my bar mitzvah. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I thought you forgot me, dude. You get a text from... Read in the paper you're doing a personal appearance later that night after the gig. Can I roll with? Can I roll with? Can I roll with, man? Me and my boys?
Coolio.
You and your boys. You got any girls in that fucking crew? Coolio. Yeah. Got any girls in that fucking crew, you douchebag? Me and my boys were fucking watching Entourage. And dude, here's the night, man. We're ordering some fucking booze, some fucking food, and oh Christ.
There's Teddy Mixstein right now.
Hang on a second. Hello? Hey, man, I'm on the air. What's going on? Where? You need me? You sure? All right, well, I'm on the air. Let me know. All right. Ooh. Jesus Christ. Fuck! My friend came by Hoboken and his fucking car fucking broke down. That wasn't Teddy Mixstein. Yo, guys! Yeah, man. Yeah, I worked hard to get this job. Really? Yeah, one day I asked my dad. He told me how to do it. I wasn't working. But anyway, yeah, man, I can totally relate to you, man. I was broke fucking when I was young, too, man. I know what it's like. You were broke, Ted? Yeah, man. I was fucking real broke. Had nothing. Just, you know what it's like, just had the one Beamer. You know what it's like, just have one BMW, man. And it's like, you just got to make it fucking work. Got to make life work. You know, and you're like, all right, man, I'm 30. Can you pick up the insurance bill for another year? Dad, I'll pay the rent one more year, Dad. I get it. I know what it's like, dude. Actually, no, it's not even close to my experience. I know, yeah, your parents pay the bill. No, actually, no. My father's been dead for... No, no one's ever paid my bills. Whoa, wow. How do you pay him then? I got to get a job earlier. Whoa, what's that? Whoa. Fucking man, hey man, this is your one-man show, real downer. Calm down. I'm sorry, man. Look at me and my boys. Look, man, we had some opportunities. Don't make us feel guilty about it. I'm not. You brought it up, too. Yeah, man, this is going to be dope. So he texts you. Can we roll with? And I go, yeah, I don't care. And then it says that thing like it's somebody's typing something. And it looks like he's typing something for fucking 4 years. Like, what's going on here? And then it just says dope. I'm like, is that your nickname? Is that your nickname? But are you signing off? What if his nickname was dope? He goes, dope. This is dope. That's dope. This is dope. Get it? No. Hey man, what's up?
And they know every slang word that the Snoop Dogg ever uttered.
Of course, man. Yeah, man. Chill. Yeah. I mean, first of all, check that attitude, man. Yeah. Again, how do you not get high around people like that? And then you realize you're making them money. You realize I'm making that kid money. And I had to write this act, before you get a DVD. I know how long it takes to write an hour of stand-up. And you work on it. This kid wouldn't be funny. Again, he'd be funny if someone accidentally set him on fire. You'd laugh. I mean, for a little bit, then you realize how tragic it was, and you try to help him. Yo, I'm on fire, man. This is dope. Hey, could you get some water to put me out? That would be dope. That would be chill. And that's when the hatred, the anger, really, you start to go like, wait a minute. What's the situation here? I wrote an hour of stand-up comedy. It took me forever. And I toured with it. And I got to the point where it could be a special, a DVD. And I jumped through hoops by shithead representation. And I go to meetings, I get a deal, and I shoot it. And this kid is a kid I'm making money for. All he did was his father forced him into having this job because he wasn't doing anything. You feel like such a sucker. It's just a matter of fucking, you know. It's all natural order. It's just luck. He was born into, you know, the kid, the fucking kid who lived above me, the kid in the penthouse of my condo. The last year I was on the Norm Show, all rich people lived in that building. It was a fucking Saudi Arabian prince, or he was from Qatar. Qatar was the country he was from, and I went to a couple parties at his place, unbelievable, like young Heather Locklear's running around. And I would go to work at the Norm Show. We'd see each other in the elevator sometimes. I'm smoking out blonde doing the Walk of Shame, whatever chick he fucked that night. She had a big audition she had to leave for. So he had like an $11,000 dog, like one of those Shar-Peis or whatever. And he would walk in. Sometimes he'd go, "Where you going, man?" I go, "I'm going to work." And he would laugh, right? My face, go, "Work? What's that like?" He was a student. And, but we got to be kind of friendly. But, and again, he's got all that money, and it's just pure luck. It's geography. It's geography. His family was born above oil. They were born on top of oil. I was born above Newark. Yeah, that's what that's it. Do I hate the guy? Am I the asshole for hating this guy? For having a better life than me because he was born that way? But if I am the asshole, then I'm an asshole because I'm not going to stop hating him. Dope.
I am, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been around people where they give celebrities certain things that they wrote, but I have never seen. I'm just in astonishment of the number of people that come up to you to say, "I'm thinking about doing stand up."
Well,
just at the newsstand, backstage at your shows. What are you doing now? Oh, I'm a researcher, medical thing, or I'm really thinking about doing stand up. I can't.
Well, some of them have these because the society's in trouble. Because I think they did a poll recently. This is why we can't let these illegal Mexicans leave because they want to do these jobs we don't want to do. These fucking young women and men, especially the teenagers nowadays, white kids, suburbia. They see the Kardashians making money for nothing. They don't see the work that goes into acting or stand up or music. The poll was like they want to be a celebrity. That's all they want to be. That's all they want. We lost it again. I lost it again. Hello. Hello. I can't hear it. Oh man. Now it's better. If it's gonna keep doing that, Dan, why does it do that? It's like new equipment, man. Just why we have no rhyme or reason.
No.
Fuck. So when I ask a question like that, that stare you give me is, that's an answer of what? No. Say no.
I said no.
But no, you didn't. You just kept staring, and then I had to ask again, and you went no. Feel free to say no. Today you didn't answer a question, and then you answered it 4 hours after we were off the. We were talking about ISIL. The president says ISIL. And everyone else says ISIS. And on the air, I said this. I said, I don't know the answer to this. I said out loud. I asked a question. I go, I know Syria. ISIS is like an acronym, the ICIS. We lost it again. It's going in and out. I'm not going to move on. I can't do it like this. I'll come over there.
Okay.
Stop it. Is that going to be on this air? What I use because this was on, my mic.
Yeah, but it's not.
I said free. And,
I had it on pause.
You sure, man? Because
Yeah.
everybody says that you hear that stuff on the, people say. That when you're nodding your head. We have this exact conversation. And they're not bullshitting because they say, by the way, Art, when you say, you ask Dan, will this be on the air? And he goes, no, it's on the air. I mean, so, but he's good for pointing that out. I know you're mad at him, but because we can't have that. So you're sure,
Yes,
how are you sure about that?
because I paused it. I didn't have. I didn't hit stop. I hit pause.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Okay, Rick, if you hear here, let me know. I mean, you're clearly mad, but what do you want to do?
I'm not mad.
I mean, you seem mad. You're masking it. you know, I don't even know what we were talking about. I was trying to get on a roll.
ISIL and ISIS.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of not interested in that. No, again, people look up information, and I'm not directing this at Dan. You know, he's just doing what 95% of the world do. I don't do it that much because I'm not. You know, I know how to do it with the Google. There's not. It's so the human experience is so different than it was even 10 years ago. You're having a conversation like Dan and I were watching the U2 concert from Paris. You know, they canceled it obviously last month, so now they're doing the makeup concert in Paris. And you know, we had seen Springsteen in Paris, and I was curious if it was the same place, and it couldn't have been that shithole. I love Bruce. It was July the 5th.
It stank.
It stunk like Europeans. It stunk like people marching Europeans somewhere. Since the beginning of time, Europeans have always been marched somewhere in a war, and they don't shower for days. I'm defecate in their pants. I'm sure that's what the Springsteen concert. It was terrible. The no air conditioning. Bruce made light of it. Again, Springsteen at the time it was 65. 65. He did 4 fucking hours, man. In Paris, he did the longest I ever saw him do, besides the first time I ever saw him in Jersey, August 31st, 1985, when he was in his mid-30s on the Born in the USA tour. A lot of energy. That was me, by the way. I don't want you to think that was Dan. That was me. Because if Dan uses a real tape.
Should I edit that out?
No.
Or we'll work in L.A. Be upset by that.
Do not work in LA. Do not edit that. Absolutely do not. You know, what was it?
Springsteen.
Yeah.
Hot, air conditioning, long show.
Oh, yeah, 4 hours. 4-hour show. He's in his mid-60s. This was 2-3 years ago. Wow. That's not 3 years ago already. Longer. Talk about terrorism in Paris. Me getting arrested there. Really, the cops. I hope the cops that arrested me responded to that the other day because they needed those guys. They were very good. Very good. Ripped my shirt off. Monsieur, you are in the psych ward. Monsieur, you sit there. You have. We check the urine. You have no drugs, and then you just have the booze. We let you go. If you have drugs, it's a different story. We have to talk. If you have just the booze, tomorrow you sleep it off, 9 a.m., you walk away. No paperwork, nothing. You just walk away. And in France, we're different. We don't like the. In New York, I know the cops. They. Here he goes, ba-boom, and he hits with a fake punch. He hits his head, and he makes a goofy Jerry Lewis, a crazy professor face. Goes, you know, you can see why they love Jerry Lewis. So he's doing, you know, he goes, in New York, they punch you in the head. Boo! We don't do that here. I was like, oh, thank you. Then he put me in a shitty little. It was like a shower stall, and there was like a hole in the ground.
Was it a shower stall at the Four Seasons or a shower stall at
the Paris jail?
Motel 6.
No, Motel 6. Are you kidding me? That's like the Four Seasons. This was a Parisian jail. The old unit. And I was in there with a guy who was really disgusting. Really. Like a Renaissance painter. They didn't tell him to wake up. Or what happened? Did they don't tell? Like, you know, a guy who hung out with Gertrude Stein. He smelled like Gertrude Stein's pussy. I don't want to say Gertrude Stein. I don't want to judge Gertrude Stein's look, but when they were casting her in a movie, Kathy Bates was up for it, and someone said Kathy Bates was too glamorous. Listen to you talk about that. Fascinating time in history when, after World War I, a lot of great American artists and patrons of the arts, writers, poets, and painters, artists, moved to Paris and hung in Paris in the early 20s. And you talk about a romantic time where you go, wow, you know, it's probably over-romanticized like everything else is. And maybe it won't be as good as you think, but it was like every night. Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, who wrote The Great Gatsby, for you fucking retards out there. Gertrude Stein, who was a critic and art critic. And of course, Picasso was in that crew. Picasso!
I think Chagall was in that crew. too.
Chagall, absolutely. Yeah. Pizarro, the painter. Just a very, very interesting group of people. And, they had their own sort of, every night, their own mini Algonquin round table where they all, at with each other and blah, blah, blah. And, Gertrude Stein was probably would talk about wanting her opinion. Supposedly, Picasso would give her paintings to review before he let anybody else look at the paintings. And, F. Scott Fitzgerald and Hemingway would let her review a first draft of a book before they sent it to the publisher. Talk about, and her views are that eclectic. Like, my God. And again, to quote Broadway Danny Rose, it looked like something you might buy in a live bait shop. According to pictures of her. There's a statue of her somewhere. It's either her or Lou Costello. There's a statue in front of the Porta. It's either her or Jackie Gleason. Nah, she was, obviously, that's juice, man. How do you get that kind of reputation? I guess you're a critic. People get so scared of critics. I have, you know what, Dan? I have a theory. Critics are not as important as they used to be. Don't you think so? They certainly do not affect the box office of a movie. Maybe some. We have, next time we took the Roper, I want to ask him, because he's the one guy who is he's talented enough to be in a lot of different businesses. I think he would think the movie critic stuff is still his bread and butter, and he's probably a huge movie fan. But I don't think it's as big a deal, right? Getting a thumbs up, getting a good review in the New York Times. It was even in a play, the New York Times guy's name, it was Vincent Canby in the Times, and it was Frank Rich. They were theater guys and done some film. But I remember how everybody was afraid of Frank Rich. Because as a kid, I was fascinated with everything New York City. I don't remember the first time I was in New York. I was a baby. I grew up 8 miles outside of the city, but the first couple of times was when my father and mom would take us in for Christmas, and we got a little dinner somewhere, and walk me and my sister around, and see the tree from 8 blocks away. The tree that was on 51st Street, we would see from 39th Street. One time my father's car got towed. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's when I found out there were some white guys who were tougher than some Puerto Ricans. Because my father was not having it from anybody. Oh, did he look over that car when we got to Brooklyn? And for scratches. Nicks, that's what he called them. Nicks.
Is that where the pound was?
Any nicks. Yeah, well, that for a lot of it. It used to be on the west side, where the docks were, on Manhattan, where we're looking right now. Directly, I'm looking out my window, straight ahead. I'm looking across the Hudson River. And I'm looking at where all the longshoremen used to unload ships and load them. And the car pound. When they first started getting towed, those old cars, and they ran out of room with everything, and they wised up and used it, especially up by where Trump is, more commercial stuff, and the West Side Highway there, which is a lot of commercial stuff, a lot of buildings down in the Chelsea area, and then all the docks moved to Red Hook and by where I studied, Elizabeth, Bayonne, because there's room there, Newark, and Red Hook, Brooklyn, and other parts of Brooklyn.
There's a building that looks like a giant garage next to the New York Waterway. Was that it?
Yeah, that's.
Cool.
That's definitely where they kept a lot of them. Also, they kept what that was too, though, was cars that were imported were kept there too. Car ships was another. The cars came over. I had that gig too, by the way. My buddy DJ I grew up with, me and a few of my friends who were really good friends with the kid whose old man had a connection at the port to get us jobs. He got, a lot of our close friends, my friends' close friends who didn't go to college, which was, let me see, all of us. Those my friends' buddies who did bad in high school, student-wise, and didn't go to college. Let me see if I can come up with a percentage of people. That would be 100%. He had about 11 real close friends, Dan. If 11 of them didn't do well in didn't do well in high school, and didn't go to college, what's that percentage? 11 of 11 is 100%. Okay, I just check it over my. I got to check it with my figures. How you doing, Torian? Yeah, I got a bit of a cold. Yeah, I got the bug. You guys are crazy. It's not jizz out of you crazy. I didn't blow a guy. Come on. I love you guys because I blow off everything. I came in here. You know, like Gary. Do I get cash? When is the? I get paid. Is it a check? Now is this union stuff? Because I don't want to get in trouble. Well, I'm not in the union, so should I? Am I on the air? I am. Yeah. You know, so I'm on. Whatever. I called the head, and I wanted to know about the money. We'll talk. I also can I shit here? I bring it up quite a bit. I don't want to ask the guy in the lobby anymore. But there's a Chipotle next door that I've gone to. Very odd. You know, I'm an older guy, and I feel awkward. There's a lot of younger people in there. You know, kids with the beards and the fucking computer systems. I don't know. These kids got a whole computer system now. The one kid on his bike, he's got a computer system. You mean a laptop computer? Yeah, a whole system. Man. Well, you know, that's not a system. It's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what it's a big extension cord. You don't need an extension cord, but yeah, whatever. You guys are crazy. Yes, I got something in my throat, and it's not cum out of your grain. What is it? No, it's not black cum out of your grain. I've never. You want me to take? I'll give myself a life. Have you ever blown a colored? I mean, a black guy. A black guy. No. See, I was deceptive. You can't give yourself a lie detector test. A long story. You want me to get into it, Howard? No? Off the air? No? You want me to call you? So just a no altogether? Across the board on that? Okay. I'll mark that off. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's nice. You know, I know a lot about the east side of the docks. Why did I come here again? I don't know. I lose my train of thought. Today I lost my train of thought and I missed my train. So I'll just sit here till the people come here. All right. Can I get a coffee? Anybody got the Daily News? You know, the Jets. Did they win? The Jets. By how much? Get out of here. Oh, God. Getting killed in my pool again. That's an office pool. Well, not really. I go door to door with one. You're a door-to-door lie detector guy? Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of old-fashioned. I know. It's working out for me, though. I put 2 kids through fucking school. Pains in the asses. Can you not believe it, how? You know, the kid wants to be he's majoring in marketing. Marketing. It's like $30,000 a year. Yeah, $30,000. I told you you want to live there, you fucking bartender. To major in marketing. What the fuck? What is that? Little markets. What? I don't know. I tell them, market me. How about doing some marketing? How about that? Fuck school. You grab some butter and some soda. You help the family more. Why did I start doing that touring? I forget. I'm Bill Curtis. I can't stop doing Bill
I
Curtis.
never knew who Ed Torian was until you started doing the voice, and I don't want to look him up now because you do the voice so funny. That
Well, you might think, in this case, you might think it's funnier. I've been doing it since 2001. Yeah. I was a fan of his before I got on the Stern Show as a regular. And you got to remember, from 95 to 01, I lived in L.A. and a bunch of different places. And it was so great with the hour delay, man. The 3-hour delay, at 6, they would start playing the show at 6 a.m. live in New York, LA time. And they'd play it up till 9 a.m. So you'd hear the first 3 hours. Fucking great. And, and then it goes into the tape of the early part of the show. And then you hear the whole show. So you know who was on. And yeah, when Beetlejuice was on, man, when Torian was on, especially talking to Beetlejuice, oh my God. That is, how they don't have a sitcom, man. You don't even know what funny is. Now, Pete, it says here that you have AIDS. I don't know, maybe a little bit. Yeah. It says you have do you have full-blown AIDS? Full-blown, yeah. Yeah. Now, have you ever had sex with a colored girl? Sometimes. Yeah. Beetle, have you ever stuck a digit in a guy's ass? Guy's ass? Yeah. Gay? Is that a no? Fuck your ass. All right. Can we go to commercial?
Yeah, so I started listening to him on the show, and I just, I always laugh, but then when I saw him, the first time he came in, I must have been on the show for maybe 3 weeks. And I saw him, and I was like, I'm a fan of this guy, Ed Torian. And Howard actually said to me, because he's a character when you see what he looks like, because he dresses like, he's trying to get into Studio 54, and he's not getting in. But what a fucking guy. Reminds me of all my a lot of my uncles, my mom's, my great uncles, my mother's grandmother's brothers, brothers and sisters. Oh God, just an entertaining guy. And he loved me for some reason. Like, I think, guys like that sense losers. They sense this guy's a jerk off. You know what I mean? Howard, I can't approach. I can't. What am I say to Robin? Nothing. Fred's some sort of a genius. This guy's an asshole. So go talk to him. That's what I mean. So it's kind of, I'm kind of proud of that, I guess, but not everybody's as fun as Ed Torian. So, during the commercial, he goes, "Hey, Artie, you bet on the game this weekend?" Just trying to think of something to relate to me. Yeah, motherfucking the judge right in the cover. Yeah, I was like, you gamble? Yeah, sometimes, I like to dabble, and I like to listen to you. You're a really funny guy, and congratulations on the gig. Oh, thanks, man. And we kind of hit it off. And when I got in my trouble, he would call every once in a while, see how I was doing. It was very touching. I'd bang, relatives didn't call. Artie said, I'm checking in. I'd say a real bitch answer the phone over there. What's with her? Why, what happened? I don't know. I said, I might have asked her out. I think he fancied himself a ladies' man, too. I tell you, I'm knee deep in pussy. You know what happens is a lot of these broads, they see the machine and they love it. He would carry, I can't explain it. It's so great. He carried around, talk about non-modern. Everyone has a full computer in their hand the size of a phone. This guy carried around a lie detector machine from job to job. An enormous, like one of those old, really big microwaves. That's what it looked like. And with a big wire and all this, paper for his figures. That scroll paper you got to constantly replace. I think he would go door to door. I don't know. Listen, if it's this funny, it's almost made up. I don't think he went to a random business at 2 PM on a Tuesday and said, "You guys think anyone's lying in there?" But it's kind of an awkward thing. But you guys, if you guys, I can prove if someone's lying or not to you. Anybody lying in the office about anything? No, not that we really care about. You know anybody who's lying on someone? Why again? What are you saying? What is that you're holding? Is that a bomb? No. No. It's a lie detector machine. And I set it up, and you guys, you can solve a mystery if someone's lying or something. $85. Plus, I use the bathroom. Number 2. And that can be number 2 number.
And you have to have the daily news. So I can read it while I was taking a shit.
Yeah. You got the Daily News guy? I said we should buy the Ed Torian Daily News, a special Daily News for Ed Torian. He would come out and be all wrinkled. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, guys. This is really embarrassing. Yeah, so he, I was enamored by the guy, just completely enamored by him. He's like Peter Falk, only in Columbo, only he's not going to solve a thing.
I've never heard the guy.
Imagine Peter Falk. Here's the analogy. Imagine Peter Falk as Columbo. The same annoying guy, the same sort of voice, same sort of off-putting thing, the same sort of dress, but he doesn't solve a thing. Matter of fact, every idea he has is the direct opposite of what the right idea is. It's a 180 from the right thing. Because, in Columbo, you get the idea. What's so cool about it is you get the idea that these sophisticated-looking people, educated-looking people are going to outsmart him, and he clearly outsmarts him at the end. The character Columbo, I'm sure, has an IQ of 170 or something. Picture that character, but the IQ, take the 0 off the 170. That's the 17. But lovable. Such a lovable motherfucker. He came to. Were you at the Club Levity Live when he came to see me? You weren't there.
No.
This was DirecTV days. The first time I played Levity Live, Chris Mazzilli's club, the guy who owns Gotham Comedy Club in New York, opened this beautiful club in Nyack. Really gorgeous club called Levity Live. I played it a few times now. It's like a theater. You feel like you're on stage at a theater. And Ed, I guess, lives up there. And he came to the green room. Oh, I was so happy to see him. I said, you got to come on stage. Because the Stern crowds love him. And me and him together is like Sinatra and Dean Martin. He goes, okay, whatever, whatever you want. And I introduced him, place went nuts. Yeah, you crazy. Yelling catchphrases after him to say. So I get, I hope I see him again. But
Who was the big guy that came up the last time I was at Levity Live?
the big guy.
He had shorts.
No,
on.
that's not a.
Oh.
That's a Stern fan.
Okay.
That's not a guy who's on the show.
Oh, okay.
That guy. Well, I don't know if he wants his name. Well, his name's John. He is cousins with the great Frank Sebastiano, who wrote the jokes for Norm Macdonald on Weekend Update. A lot of the jokes.
No. The big fat guy.
I know. It's Frank's friend. Frank's cousin. I'm bringing up Frank because John is his cousin.
Okay.
What are you confused about? John,
He had,
the big
he had a really high pitched voice.
the guy in the. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, high pitch Eric.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how you when you're describing him. The high pitched voice is like the third thing you describe.
Well, I couldn't remember.
There were a few big fat guys. You remember John, the big fat guy? That's what I thought you were talking about.
No. The guy that came on with the light blue shirt and
You
the
said
shorts.
big fat guy, light blue shirts, high pitch, which is his nickname, was like the fifth thing you said. All you got to say was high pitch guy. Okay, high pitch. That we were 2 seconds.
Don't ask me for police lineup. That's all I
No,
got.
I'm just saying. You talk about burying the lead. Fat guy, yeah, from Queens. What else is about him? I don't know. I got a nice head of hair. I don't know. He came backstage. No. What else? He wears glasses. No. Real high pitched voice. Oh, high pitch Eric. Yeah. The thing that's in his name was the fifth thing you used. He wasn't big fat guy Eric. Guy in shorts Eric. Big head of hair Eric. Wears glasses Eric. Came backstage Eric. It's high pitch Eric.
I was being deceptive.
Yeah. It's high pitch Eric. Jesus Christ. I'm going to throw up. Okay, CNN cannot be trying to get... CNN is trying to get Trump out of the race single-handedly. And the ironic thing, it's so entertaining. They do the same thing every night. All these guys are insane liberals, obviously, on CNN. And I'm not giving them shit about it. I'm a very solid independent. And I have been on Don Lemon's show. He's a good guy. I enjoyed talking to Don. It was when Trevor Noah, who also looks like an underwear model, got the Daily Show. And he made some joke, some joke that Jewish people took offense to, and that was the hot topic for a day. And I got talked into being a comic on the, on the panel to get interviewed by Don Lemon because it would help plug the podcast, and it did nothing. So I went there, and anyway, I was on TV. John Fugelsang was the other comic who I've worked with before in the past. John's a good guy and a very political guy, John. So I don't know what he's going to say. I mean, I'm not prepared for this, so I sang the song prior to that. I sang the first time I ever did stand-up. I did the same thing at Carnegie Hall. I said, I'm going to do something for the first time I ever did stand-up, which was like 10 blocks away. It's great about New York. The beginning of your career and the current part of it and the end is all like within 3 blocks. Honestly, they just changed the Howard Johnsons or something like that. Great documentary about Marlon Brando. We were talking about when he first got to New York. It came from fucking Omaha. Talk about fucking shell shock. And he said, he just walked around and he went to sleep. He laid down on the corner of 44th and Broadway and went to sleep in the summer air, and no one bugged him.
Wow.
Got up and he looked around. So 44th and Broadway. If you go to 44th and Broadway, the look of the area changed. There might be a new building up there, but the corner of 44th and Broadway, they might have repaved it. I'm sure they did, repainted it, blah, blah, blah. But that corner is exactly where Marlon Brando lied down, 60, 70 years ago. That's what's cool about inner cities. They usually don't, switch like that. Yankee Stadium takes some of the. I don't know. The fact that since 1976 you couldn't go and look exactly at the place Babe Ruth stood because they renovated it in 76. They didn't get a new one, but the first base moved quite a bit.
You can do that at Wrigley
No,
Field.
but Wrigley Field and Fenway are the two places that you can still do that. And, pretty interesting stuff. Theo Epstein over at the Cubs, right?
That's right.
That's right, man.
We picked up Lackey yesterday.
Right. Listen, man.
2 years.
That's a good pickup. 2 years, good too.
He's a gamer.
Yep, I think 2 years is a good amount of time for him. That is. You know what? I didn't know that. That's a great pickup. That is a great pickup. But again, in the World Series, it showed where those guys are walking corporations with these players. They make so much more than the managers. They don't have to respect them, and a lot of times they don't. The image in my head of that loss to the World Series, I couldn't even tweet about it, was Jeremy Piven. I mean, not Jeremy Piven. I was thinking him because it's usually at the Met game with Matt. What's the new pitcher's name for the Mets? Matt something. He was late for. Anyway, the big pitcher, young guy.
Christ.
And
I
he
can't
was,
think of his name. Matt.
I guess just look it up. Everybody looks everything up. I hate when you bring up something and people look it up. I feel like the time they're taking to look it up, something I said, is such a waste of everyone's time. And
Matt Harvey.
Matt Harvey.
But didn't you have my mom bought us the World Book every year. Didn't you have the World Book A through Z and then the every year one? So if you had to look up something for your homework?
What homework? What are you talking about? You mean writing jokes, you mean?
No, like in grammar school.
What did it say that again?
Didn't you have the World Book A through Z at your house and then...
The World Book?
Yeah,
you mean
World Book.
encyclopedia?
Yeah.
Oh, encyclopedia. I know what you're talking about, World Book. Yeah, we did.
And then every year you had to buy the yearly edition, and that's how you did your homework.
We did?
At least we did in my house.
You got to buy the yearly edition?
You had to buy they had 1972, 73, 74,
fucking
75.
scam.
Yeah.
Really? But we definitely had the World Book, and I can remember doing reports out of there, or whatever, looking shit up. What does that have to do with anything I was just saying?
Well, if you,
looking
that
it
was
up.
just like looking up. I used to love that.
But no, it's not like looking up because that was the point of the beginning of this. It's your whole life. It's 24/7. No one went to the Yankee game with the World Book. That's the point. Some shit you just didn't know. You got to go to bed that night not knowing it, and you forget and you just wouldn't know. Like we were talking about, talk about a tangent. That's what I started to talk about half an hour ago. We were talking about Paris and U2, where they were playing. We brought up Bruce. We started talking about the sweaty thing and French people and forget about it. Before you know it, Mitch Hedberg's in a trailer and Keith Richards is going through withdrawals. Oh, they'll talk about tangents. This Progressive commercial. With this redhead girl. What do they think they're doing? Taxi driver parodies. They're doing a taxi driver parody. It's a commercial for an insurance company. Oh God! And that chick, she must be making a boatload of money. But I would hope her career's over. I mean, not because she sucks, because I'm tired of her already. She's overexposed. 21. But I just get annoyed watching her. Is the point? I don't want to sound mean, because she's got to make a living, and she booked this job. It's a good job to book. But you know what? There's no way for me not to sound mean. I have to move on, because there's another commercial, not the toe fungus. We got to get the audio, by the way, to the toe fungus.
I haven't.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mario Lopez does a commercial that's out now, where he Martin Scorsese filmed a commercial film, and based on a true story, I think, right? Something like that. It's called Invincible, and it's so good, so good. And is it called Invincible? What am I thinking of? What are you looking up right now?
I'm getting the toe fungus commercial.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a Mario Lopez. Oh no, I'm thinking of a Mark Wahlberg movie. Yeah, I don't remember. Okay. Mario Lopez really has to sell this. He's like the Ryan Seacrest. Here's the setup of the commercial. You're gonna love it after this. This is gonna tease you. You're gonna want to watch it. So Mario Lopez in a tuxedo. First of all, right there, it should tell you. But Mario Lopez with those fucking dimples, man. Oh, how about those Mario Lopez dimples, Dan? Come on, don't tell me they haven't kept you up at night. How much? You know how much jizz has probably been in those? Those. I mean, I'm assuming. Maybe the guy had some encounters. I don't know. Or maybe he was in a threesome on this set. Saved by the Bell set. John Paul Bogossiler. What's the blonde kid's name? Is it John Paul? Who's the Dawson's Creek guy? He's another guy.
Vanderbeek.
Right, Vanderbeek is who?
Dawson's Creek. Isn't he the tall blonde?
All right, now who's the? Is
Ryan Gosling?
No, it's not Ryan. Guy. The lead of Saved by the Bell, the blonde kid with the coiffed blonde.
I never
hair.
watched the show ever.
Neither did I, but they're you know who they are, right? I mean, they're famous people. I never been to a One Direction concert. I know them because there's no way not to know them. Yeah, what the fuck is the? Anyway, I thought there was another band too, but the acting in this is unreal. It's unbelievable. I don't know who he beat out for this, but I think Mario Lopez again with those dimples. There's got to be times where, I mean, I'm kidding around, but if in fact he is homosexual, I don't know if he is or not. There had to be a time where a guy, he's blowing a guy and the guy takes his dick out. Because guys are good at that. Like guys who know how to fuck. And I'm sure Mario hangs out with guys like that. And gals. Like they just know how to fuck, man. And so maybe Mario's grossed out by swallowing jizz, or the guy likes to accommodate that and doesn't want to be rude, and he takes his cock out and tries to jerk off in a shirt on the side, like a concert shirt, a Mumford Sons shirt or something. Mario has. But there's times, if that's true, and I think it is true, where the guy tries to jerk off on the other side of the table and accidentally jerks off onto his something in his duffel bag, or accidentally gets it into Mario's dimple. So and then Mario, that's something you always remember to clean up, because a lot of times and then in the moment with passion, you're not the most hygienic. And I could see Mario a lot of times just leaving it in his dimples, not realizing it's there, and it hardening, like a project, like a putty,
like earwax.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So it hardens. It's like a little pool of jizz in his dimples that hardens, and he wakes up the next day and affects his speech. Like goes, give me some eggs. Whoa, you all right? Oh no, man, why am I talking like that? My face is paralyzed. And he thinks it's something he drank, when technically it is. It's something he partially drank. Should have drank the whole thing. At this point of the podcast, I'm making myself laugh. So, yeah, but the next morning, that had to have happened before. I mean, if Mario Lopez gave a man, I'm not saying he did. But if he ever gave a guy head, and the guy
Hey, I'm here on the red carpet where our next arrival is. Whoa! Toenail fungus.
Oh,
Fight
stop it right there. Okay, stop it
Jublia.
right there. Okay. Okay, you're going to make fun of this. That is not easy acting. Okay? Okay. He gets the job, and I hope he got offered this. I hope he didn't have to audition for this. You know what I mean? Like the waiting
Casting
room.
couch?
Yeah, his agent calls him up. What you up to, babe? Oh, that's a Saturday. That means the 3 Bs for Mario. Bitches, band camp and boring. No, I forget. I'll work on that. But it's yeah. What's up, man? Hey, great news. You told me you told me you saw some of your boys in some commercials. You told me your boy John Paul Gosler got a commercial and easy money. You call me up. You say, hey, what do you get me a commercial? I'm on it. Send it over a script, babe. It's toenail fungus. What? Well, look, it sounds embarrassing, but dude, it is mega money. Are you near a cinder block right now? Pick it up. That's what it's going to feel like when you put all the money in a fucking duffel bag. A cinder block. That's how much fucking money I'm getting you for this toenail fungus. And also, honestly, dude, in the long run, you know how we said we got to build up your acting reel? Like, a lot of those scenes from Saved by the Bell are very poignant, but a lot of it's late 80s. A lot of Reagan references. We got to update it. Got to update that reel, baby. So,
And it's the same director who did the Nespresso commercial with Clooney, so you might get on the second one of
listen, big director. Big director in this genre.
Did the Boschetti Pepsi commercial.
Did the Boschetti Pepsi commercial. He is dope. Remember, Mario, you said to me in an email, the next director you work with, you want to be dope. Oh, you said a dope? No. Francis Ford Coppola. This guy is this guy. You wanted the director to be dope? Well, this guy is Francis Ford Coppola. And dope in the positive way, the way the blacks say it. Yeah, fat with a PH. This guy's dope. Francis Ford Coppola. What's the commercial? Well, okay. You are the fucking man. You are the coolest. You're in a tuxedo, and we know how you look in a tux, babe. It is fucking every panty within 14 miles is wetter than wet. And you are just in a tuxedo, and you're smiling, and you're on the red carpet, and you're fucking at the Oscars. You're Mr. Ryan Seacrest. Everyone wants an interview with the man.
You get to keep the tuxedo.
That's right.
And the giant blow up of the toe fungus.
And you are told that the last limo has got a surprise guest in it. And your character, the real Mario Lopez will know what's in the car because you've read the script. But, or don't read the script. Do you want me to not tell you? Do you want to for the audition to make it real? No, okay, fine. What happens is your character in the commercial does not know what's in the kid. So it could be anybody, man. And you're at the biggest fight. It is like the Kids' Choice Awards when they get slimed times a billion. It could be who? It could be George fucking Clooney. It could be Cameron Diaz. It could be
Johansson.
Yeah, it could be fucking the man, Sean Penn. It could be the man, Samuel Jackson. I guess maybe it's an African American. I know there's an offer out to Samuel Jackson to be the limo driver. He's pondering. So, yeah. So you're thinking, but here's the acting. This is where you're going to get this on your reel. First of all, it's definitely going to get a Clio nomination. The Clios, guess where the Clios are this year? Cincinnati. That's right. We are going to fucking get you the biggest room at the Cincinnati Sheraton. That's where they do them, at the Sheraton. So what's going to happen is we'll fly you in, and we'll get you right to the Sheraton. You don't have to step foot outside in Cincinnati. Unless you want to go to the Reds-Astros game. That's right. 10th row, mezzanine. Yeah, so let me know on that. But, okay, here's the acting. And I could send this over to you, but I know you love when I describe shit. All right, who's in the limo, man? Who is it? You're like, okay, one last limo pulling up. You're real excited. So the limo door fucking opens, and we are just invested in this. We are just invested in this. And everyone's at the edge of their seat. And you're like, who is it? Who is it Clooney? Is it Gosling? Is it Jean-Claude Van Damme? And what is it? No. It is a fake toe with a bow tie, a top hat, glasses, covered in fungus. and you
I'm
go,
here on the red carpet
What?
where our next arrival is, whoa, toenail fungus.
listen to that, baby. I got the tape you sent over. Dude, way to do it. You might not even have to go in. Dude, they might actually cast you based on that tape. Where did you do that? I know you said you lived next to Dennis Hopper. Did he coach you? He's been dead for 5 years. Yeah, that is amazing because like I told you in the phone call, that turn's got to be. It's George Clooney. Whoa! It's not George Clooney. It's toenail fungus. So let's hear that again. Let's hear that. Listen to what he did in this commercial.
It with Jublia.
Hey, I'm here on the red carpet where our next arrival is, whoa, toenail fungus.
Dude, there's maybe 5 actors on this planet goddamn Earth who could do that turn. You are the Allen Iverson of acting turnover.
And the Clio Awards are at the Creationist Museum in Cincinnati.
Oh, what does that mean? Oh, yeah?
There's the Creationist Museum
Oh, man.
for people who don't believe in evolution.
Every single edition Dan has had this bit has been terrible. Like I'm doing like a character, like I'm trying to, and Dan just like his voice doesn't change at all. It's that annoying Chicago, and then the jokes aren't funny. No one knows the references, and then the Creation Museum. What? When you do that, you realize Mario Lopez is talented. But honestly, this tape, man, can I keep this tape? Do you mind if I make a copy and keep the original for me and my kids? Because they love you. And dude, look, I don't know what you want to do, but I guarantee you, at the Sheraton in Cincinnati, after that award show, you're carrying around that Clio, dude, you are going to need hours to scrape the jizz out of those dimples in the morning. I'm like, dude, where are you going? I got the dope jet. You're late. Still scraping the fucking jizz out of your dimples, huh? That's what happens when you win the Clio in Cincy. You feel like Johnny Bench right now, I bet. Joe Morgan. You got the sign. And the end of the commercial is the best. The end of the commercial is a 2-shot of Mario Lopez and the toe. It's a 2-shot of Mario Lopez and a toe, a fake toe, with a top hat and glasses. A fungus toe with top hat and glasses. And I realized that, yeah, there it is. We can't say the product, can we? Okay, look at that toe, man. It's an animation thing. It looks like David Spade's face. I don't know.
And Roy Orbison glasses.
Yeah, it's got a top hat with Roy Orbison. That's what it looks like. Looks like Elvis Costello if he's a toe. Elvis Costello toe. Jesus. That looks like Toe Walsh. It does. It has the blonde hair and the hat. It's got the Joe Walsh hat, the blonde hair. That's Toe Walsh. I'm just lucky that way. Life's been good. It's Toe Walsh. Oh God, that's fucking great. But honestly, when it's a 2-shot of Mario and a big fake smile with those dimples that you know have scars from the scraping.
So I shouldn't say Funky Feet 49?
No, please. There you go. I like that. But it's you look at Mario Lopez sitting next to the toe, and you go, it's the only time in history, if somebody asked you the question, of these two things, who would you rather go get a beer with? It might be the only time in history you as a human being would go, the toe with top hat and glasses.
Toe Walsh.
I don't want to go with Mario Lopez. I want to go with Toe Walsh. Play that again. Play that turn again. This is acting, man. Because first of all, you got to have the material. If Marlon Brando was the skipper on Gilligan's Island, do you think he'd have been any better than Alan Hale? No. It's hard
Hey,
to
I'm
do.
here on the red carpet where our next arrival is, whoa, toenail fungus.
Oh, come on, man. You think Olivier could have hit that?
Jublia is a prescription medicine
Stop
used to
it.
treat
Stop it.
toenail fungus.
Stop it,
Use
Dan. Stop
Jublia
it.
as instructed.
Jesus. Yeah. Do you think, what's his face? Who's the fucking guy? Bryan Cranston. Think Bryan Cranston could have nailed that any better? How could he have done that better? No, he couldn't have. Even, dare I say, Robert Downey Jr., who I love, could not have done it that well. Whoa, toenail fungus. And
What
dude,
about Bill Curtis?
I'm Bill Curtis. Toenail fungus. I'm Bill Curtis for American Justice. We're here on the red carpet. The next arrival is, whoa, toenail fungus. That's how I do it. I'll take that again. Do I have one more chance? I know David Faustino's coming in. That's what Mario Lopez, as an agent, says. Dude, I know he's your arch nemesis, but you have to beat out one guy. It's two people they want. It's you and David Faustino. He'll be at the waiting room. Just be cool, dude. Be cool. He didn't know you were married to her. He didn't know you were married to her. And he claims it was not his jizz. Hello, I'm Bill Curtis. Tonight on Toenail Fungus. I'll read that again. Hello, I'm Bill Curtis. I'm on the red carpet for the award show. And tonight on the award show, we have a big star as the surprise guest. And here it comes. Here comes the limo. Who is it? Whoa. Toenail Fungus. The Toenail Fungus, when he arrived at the award show, no one else knew that he was under indictment for 3 other murders. Supposedly, fungus had spread on several toes in the Ohio Valley area. The cops were searching Denny's, certain Denny's. Last time the toe was seen was at his job managing Denny's in Lorain, Ohio. He was last seen with Gino Bisconti. Gino Bisconti opened for him. He got a job on the stand-up comedy circuit, where Gino Bisconti opened for him. Gino, when we asked Gino what it was like opening for a toe, Gino claimed in a very defensive way that he loved his life. We said, what's it like opening for a toe? Fuck you, I love my life, I'm happy. Okay. We understand. Gino loves his life. I'm Bill Curtis, and this is Toenail Fungus. When asked about the Toenail Fungus, Mario Lopez was oddly aloof, claiming he was at a run-through for the 20th anniversary of Saved by the Bell. I asked about the other cast members of Saved by the Bell if they had anything against Toenail Fungus, some jealousy. They claimed no. We could not find the black girl in the show, whose name eludes me, until we got a tip-off from a local weed dealer. He told us we could find her at room 314 at the Carter Hotel on Flamingo Street downtown. When we found her, it was a very ugly scene. She had come a long way from that cute black girl on Saved by the Bell. She had been smoking crack for several days. She weighed 40 pounds. Near death, I saved her life. I nursed her back to life. I got her some food, took her to a rehab. And after the 3rd year, when she claimed she was fine, while she was sleeping, I slowly slipped my cock into her mouth. When she woke up, I said, I'm Bill Curtis, and this is your story. Here's the dick, played by the toe that has fungus. Toe Walsh. I'm going to take a break. I've been talking for 3 hours, and I've said nothing as these characters. I'm Toe Walsh. I'm Bill Curtis. I'm the kidney disturber. I'm the matrimonial peacemaker. Back after this. All right, guys, that's all we got for you today. That's blood, sweat, and tears there. That's over 2 hours, Dan. 2 hours of gibberish. 2 hours of gibberish on artiequitter.com. Please tell your friends to go to artiequitter.com for all things Artie. I got a lot of stand-up coming up. You guys have been good to me in the stand-up world. I appreciate you coming out and laughing. I got a bunch of new material, new stories that I'm going to try out. I did that Access TV, Mark Cuban's network, where hopefully we'll get Mark on the show. We had him on the old DirecTV show. Great guy. Hopefully he'll come on this show to talk about his Access TV Gotham Live, Gotham Comedy Club, where you fans of mine might recognize Gotham Comedy Club. I did my Comedy Central special, 2 Comedy Central specials ago, Jack and Coke. I did at the Gotham Comedy Live. Fuck, who the fuck is calling? Is that yours?
Yeah, it was.
What is that?
It was flipping.
Oh. All right. Anyway. Yeah, lower the thing, I guess. I don't know what to say. Sorry. That doesn't matter. It all just runs. Anyway, what was I saying? What the fuck was I saying? Gotham Comedy Live. I did it. There's a second time I did it, and he let me close this time. I was on with Gilbert and Jackie Marling, Gilbert Godfrey, Jackie the Joke Man Marling, my old friend Orlando Jones from Mad TV, and Mario Cantone. Just some of the funniest guys I know, people I know from my past. I thought it was Artie Lang. This is your life. Me and Orlando Jones were roommates, and Orlando killed, and Jackie killed. Watching Jackie tell a joke is like watching Babe Ruth hit a fucking home run, man. Great stuff. And Gilbert told old jokes as well, and he's the same way. One of the best joke tellers ever. And I closed it up with, well, I write new jokes, so that's what I do. I come up with new stories. There's some you mix in some more with new. I had a lot of new stories. My Showtime special that I taped that I hosted up in Montreal comes out January 8th, and this was a great gig for comics. Mark Cuban treats comics really well. It's a lot of money. Although I very awkwardly found out I get paid more than Joe Matarese. I told Joe what I made the other night, thinking we'd like high five because he made the same thing, and he does not make the same thing. Instead of a high five, he was very upset. The difference in numbers of what we make is staggering, and I thought it was the same amount of money. I said, hey man, how about that gig, Access TV? Dude. And I said the number, and then I said 8 minutes of work. And then he went, you got what? And then I realized, oh my God, no. And then he told me what he made, and I realized, oh my God, that is not even close to what I made. Very awkward, but we're friends. We got through it. And they got a promo on Twitter of a little taste of it. It aired live, but they're going to re-air it a lot, and I appreciate them putting this clip up. This is a true story I just started telling on stage, and I love it. I love telling it on stage. It's fun. About something that happened at a hockey game at Madison Square Garden, a Ranger game at Madison Square Garden that me and my cousin went to in the late 80s. So it's this is a clip of my stand-up. This is about a minute and a half of a 9-minute set I did. And they said next week the whole set will be up there. So I told them I'd plug it on their website. It's accesstv.com, I guess. Accesstv.com has they have all the UFC fights. Great channel. Support Mark Cuban, who will probably be on. What did Cuban say, Dan? Will he be on, hopefully?
Yeah, he just was really busy.
Yeah, Mark Cuban will be on. He was a great guest on our DirecTV show. Just a fun guy. And thank you, Mark, for the opportunity. And the whole thing, the whole 9-minute set, we will play for you on this air as well. Because not a lot of people have Access TV. But here's a glimpse on AccessTV.com of me telling part of that hockey story on live television, and it's been a lot of fun. What a great episode, and we'll see you tomorrow, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. John Ritchie, our old DirecTV guy, is running for Senate in Pennsylvania. We'll get into that, why he'll never speak to us again. Take care, Brashear. Sporting events suck. I remember the coolest things to happen at sporting events. Everybody's so fucking polite. I went to a hockey game, Rangers-Islanders game, 1989, man, where you could just fucking say anything. Like, I was in the third row with my cousin Frankie. Kid in the first row was wearing glasses, so we figured he was gay. Oh, nice glasses! Good luck marrying a guy! But he did the coolest, he was a nerd, he was like an autograph nerd, but he did the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen a guy, and the nerds used to be cool back then. A guy, it's at the Garden, so a guy in the Rangers checks a guy on the Islanders into the glass, midway through the second period. Checks the guy, now the guy on the Islanders smushed into the glass, and he's like that for, it seems like an eternity. The nerdy kid gets up, and he has the presence of mind to take the cap off the Sharpie magic marker that he had for autographs. And he did the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. He slowly walked up to the glass, and he drew a dick into the mouth of the guy. is not Elvis Presley. And in no other sport would the guy on the home team participate in this behavior. But the guy on the the guy on the Rangers saw the guy on the Islanders was getting away